Yeah, alright, I think we're live. So, hello Internet. Welcome to this Princes of the Apocalypse show that we do here on the Nerd Immersion channel. It's been 2 weeks, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to have, potential technical difficulties, although we think we resolve them. Although sometimes things pop up on the screen, like connection interrupted trying to reconnect. Don't know what that's about, but hey, I should be getting a new computer. Maybe that'll fix it. Anyway... a couple of announcements before we roll into the game and a recap of last week. I really should have put a link together for this because I am dumb. Maybe I'll do that during the process of the game when these guys are talking. We've got a giveaway going on. We broke 1,000 subscribers here on Twitch. So we've got a giveaway that everybody, including the people on this stream if they so choose, are eligible to enter. The grand prize is one of these bad boys, the limited edition copy of Xanathar's Guide to Everything. So it's one of these, along with the convention-exclusive Tomb of Annihilation dice bag and the Wizards of the Coast, the kind of gray, smoky die set. There's also character sheet folder, adventure grid, 2 D&D character folios, and a bunch of dice. So those are all being given away. And all you have to do is subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitch. A lot of you already do that. So then that's it to enter. And then the rest of the stuff is extra entries for gravy. Referring friends, joining our Discord, blah, 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 blah. And if you really want to refer your friend and just make fake emails and constantly re-refer yourselves, I won't know. So go for it if that's what you want to do. But anyway, so that's going on right now, so go check that out. That ends the end of this month, so we got some time left. So yeah, that's about it. And there will be there's a backlog of about 30 Xanathar's Guide to Everything videos that I haven't uploaded that are coming out over the next few days, along with the salvageable interviews from PAX Unplugged, and maybe the unsalvageable ones with the caveat that sometimes they sound like demons are scraping the microphone, and I can't help against that.
Hey, Ted.
Yeah.
I'm on your Twitch, and
you're not live.
You're not live. You're hosting still.
No. Oh.
I just refreshed like 2 times.
You haven't been...
It didn't de-host us. So the recording will happen, which is fine.
Cool.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
I was just like, wait a second.
Yeah, it's a thing. There's an issue with Twitch, apparently, where if you're in host mode and you go live, it doesn't always de-host you. Which, yeah, it's an issue with...
What? Why?
Yeah, you can. You can type /unhost in your Twitch chat, and it unhosts. It exits host mode.
Host mode.
It's supposed to do that automatically when it recognizes that you go live. But guess what? Apparently, it doesn't always do that. I heard it was a thing that happened, and it hadn't happened to me for weeks, and today was, of course, the day that it did happen. So, thank you guys for checking that out. Awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Anyway, people live in the chat, if you didn't see it, you just missed all the announcements. So, giveaway, PAX Unplug interviews coming out, at least 2 of them. I filmed like 6. 2 of them are usable. Hopefully I can get the other ones to not sound awful. And it was all equipment issues. So it's not even like something that I could meticulously cut out sound spikes in post. I tried that last night for 3 hours and then I gave up. So we'll see what happens. So let's talk about what happened last time. This is a... Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell me what you got.
Oh, just all the trap building,
Just the digging of holes and the what ifs.
I just really insisted on that goddamn hole.
Yep.
Sorry.
That's okay. Davis, just so you're aware, chat's saying it too. We literally see your forehead, like this is all we see of you on camera. By the way,
I have decided that I'm going to just be eyes this session.
All right.
Just best.
I'm going to express all of my emotions with my eyes.
Through eyes.
All right. Hey, man.
The eyes are the windows of the soul, so why not?
We'll see how long that lasts before he sits up and then his face comes into frame. Anyway, yeah. So last time to Brittany's point, yeah, she insisted, or Lilith rather, insisted, all right, we pissed off some people, they're gonna come for us, we need to build a giant ditch. We need to dig this big old pit trap. This is what I'm doing with my day. I'm digging away. 10 foot deep. We're going to put up traps, tripwires. I think there was weaving of leaves together to make a mat to cover up that hole.
But he didn't do very well. He got distracted by Jan, right?
Yeah. Yep. We had John appear. His sentient
John.
ball of vines with the sentience of intelligence of a collie. That is essentially like yay big Tangela minus the feet. And then we had the disguised duo here go into the town of Red Larch.
And that worked.
Yes.
That plan worked.
You know it.
Yes. What was it? Osmeralda and Ignatius went into the town together.
That was it.
To retrieve information, and I mean, folks, you can't make that shit up. This is just lightning in a bottle. We'll see if we can get it again. Who knows? But long story short, plans are set in motion. Things did not go nearly as well as they planned.
I want to know, did they roll a natural 20 on like a perception check? Did they see my mat?
They never saw your mat.
Because they just like didn't come close to the pit, and I was like,
well, they just like came out and they saw you. They saw you guys. You were there. Like they were out. Like Ozzy was out in front, stopping them, and they're like, "We see you." It wasn't in front of the pit, but when you see, like, you know, you don't know what's going on. This guy was a girl before. There's clearly deception involved. So let's keep our distance because. I mean, also, you gotta remember, these guys know that you're capable adventurers as you've made a name for yourselves in the town for the things you've done.
oh, right.
So they're not just gonna be like, let's just walk right over. We know one of them uses a bow. Couple of them got magic. You know, let's keep our distance on this here. Yeah. So they stop, and then eventually two of them just run away, and one guy stays because he's basically beaten down. And then he's shaken into an inch of his life.
Don't we kill him?
After he bites off...
Interrogation ever.
Yes, after he bites off Vanan's finger.
And then we drop him.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We
You
lost
Yeah,
a
I'm missing a
digit.
finger.
When he crit bit Vanan's finger and bit off his finger, and then Lilith let him go with his 1 hit point and his 5 total health. And I rolled a 6 for the 1d6 falling damage for the 10-foot fall.
Yep.
And his neck snapped when he hit the ground.
That's right. We pushed him in the pit.
Yep.
I pushed him.
It was a grave, really.
You pushed him in.
Just had to use
Oh,
it.
who pushed him in the pit?
Lilith had him over the pit,
She
basically,
was threatening him.
and then just let him go. And he fell.
Nice job, Lilith.
Well, as we
He
know...
was gonna
Hey, it all
land on
worked
his
out.
neck.
As we know, where is it? It is, let's see, quote number 66. I just love killing.
Just like killing. That's right.
Yep.
Just like killing.
So, needless to say, after that, the party they went back into town on their way. Basically, we gotta get out of here. We just murdered somebody. Potentially one of the leaders of the town here. We gotta get out and, like, screw this town. We're done with it. Which could have gone an entirely different way had they approached this another way. Like, they could have been heralded as heroes and had a house built for them. Whole bunch of crazy shit.
We don't need that shit.
Yeah, man, they were gonna build you like a keep, you know. Yeah, they would have built you guys like a keep because of your being the defenders of the town, protecting them from all this stuff. But that didn't happen. So that was after all the weirdness stopped, after you guys like took out what you did, and the weirdness stopped. That was gonna be like, they're like, oh man, everything's better now. Look what these guys did it. Yeah, let's make them a house.
I A house.
Yeah, that's. I mean, Red Larch doesn't have a whole lot going for it, so a house is about the best they can give you. Like, they can't give you a castle, they can't give you jewels.
The
They could
ground's
give you-
falling in.
Grumble cakes, all the grumble cakes you can eat.
The grumble.
But yeah, there's a sinkhole in the center of town. Half the town is in a secret society. You get the point. But anyway,
We're good.
they decided to leave, but they heard some interesting gossip on their way out, which led them on their current path. A farmer spouting off about shallow... Lucy, come on. It's all good. I don't mind. Oh, shit.
10
Sure.
lines.
There's just a whole bunch of Adventure League
Ted
certs
is
in my book.
Exceedingly angry. You can see it in his eyes.
There it is.
Yeah. So
All right.
they
See the anger.
they decided to head out, but they heard some interesting things, like a bunch of shallow graves nearby. That some farmer was sheep farmer was spouting off about. They heard rumors of this trade delegation heading from the city of Mirabaran on their way through Red Larch somewhere else. They stopped in the nearby city of Belliard before they were apparently waylaid, as they had not made their destination. Also was rumored that they were bringing with them a fallen knight of the Knights of Samalar, which is a knight order of tier that Lilith is quite familiar with. And that sort of set them out on their current path. So, that was a lot longer than a backstory that I wanted, but it's all good. So, again, we talked about it offline, but for the folks live watching, why don't we just go through and just remind me what you guys were heading out of town, and the plan was Belliard was the plan?
Onward to Belliard.
Also, Igni stole me a dwarven manuscript from that guy who was in the Harpers.
That's
did
true.
that.
She did do that.
Yeah.
I
That was
snatched
the thing that
that.
happened.
That was a thing that happened.
Vanan's player was falling asleep and thus did nothing at the end of session.
Yes, some of us recall that. Right.
Yeah, I didn't hear my notes. There they are. Okay.
Yeah, that was a beautifully illuminated dwarven manuscript.
Yes.
And just because we're basically going to pick up right where we left off, so I'm going to say you're going to have really time to go ahead and read through it. So you guys are heading out of the city towards Belliard, and I will pull up my map here of the Desserin Valley, which is on the next page. So, you guys are leaving Red Larch, right, that's right, because you guys were heading, the way things worked out, you had to either go, because you were looking for, Ozzy has the map of the Dwarven Stronghold somewhere in the Sumber Hills, and Belliard is through the Sumber Hills. And did you decide remind me, did you decide you were going to go through the hills to try to find Belliard, or go north along the road and then south east to get there?
I think we were going through the hills, weren't we?
I
Yeah.
think so, yeah.
We were going through the hills. I feel like
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
doing like a pathfinding thing.
Okay, yeah, that is actually a potentially shorter route, assuming one does not get lost. Though there is a path that is well traversed, but obviously the road is safer than a path through the mountains. That's fine. So, all right, so you guys set out for Belliard. Okay, so who wants to be the potentially lucky or unlucky person who rolls for a random encounter for today?
I got my dice ready.
Do it.
Oh
Okay.
boy, I'm
I would-
excited for this random encounter.
Do
All
you want me
right.
to roll any? Do you want me to add anything to that roll?
I will have you roll me a d12 and a d8.
Oh.
Switch it up a little bit.
D12 is my
Wow.
favorite dice. It never gets used.
Yeah, it never does.
Well, I have something to tell you after you make this
by
roll.
newbies who get it confused with the d20.
That does happen fairly often.
Judgment.
So I rolled a 6 and a 3.
Okay, now also you can roll me a d20 as well.
Okay. Am I doing like adding anything to that?
Just a straight D20 roll.
13.
Okay. Yeah, so you travel, it's going to take you roughly, you guys don't have mounts, right? So you're going on foot for this whole way. So this is going to take you, it's about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, we'll round it off, let's say about like 100, 110 miles of traversing the woods, of traversing through the hills, and then along the stone trail to get to Belliard. So it's going to take you a couple days travel. We'll say, I don't know, 10, I'll just round it off and say you could do about 10 miles a day, roughly, with resting and everything. I think that's a reasonable walking speed. I think you could do 20 on horseback, I think is what the mechanics. If somebody knows otherwise, then jump in and say something, but other than that...
Physics and math say different, but I'm not going to argue with the rules.
No, go ahead. What do you got?
I mean, typical walking speed is about like 2 miles an hour.
Yeah,
right.
I was gonna say that. So, 5 hours of walking.
So
yeah,
5 hours of walking would be 10 miles-ish.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Time for like short rests and stuff like that as well.
Right. Assuming you guys get up at first light, you stop to have lunch, stop to have breakfast. You're also hauling. Some of you, like say Lilith, are in chainmail, so you're probably going to be going at a. You're not going to be huffing it the whole way. Also, you don't really know where you're going, so I'm going to assume for the most part you're on. Are you on alert in these mountains, or are you just sort of like traipsing along, like no big deal?
Yeah.
You don't care.
I'm not on alert because I know the rest of my party would be.
I'm on alert.
See,
Yeah,
I thought
Iggy's gonna
he
be
was only
on
going to
alert.
be eyes. Now we got his mouth. I can't keep it straight.
He fibbed.
Sometimes.
My head would probably be reading. My face would be in the
In the
dwarven
book?
manuscript, looking at it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm actually going to say, based on Brittany's rolls, no, nothing happens. The first whole day, you make it through the whole
Sweet.
day's worth of travel with no issue. You still got several days worth of travel ahead of you. To give you kind of a background about the Sumber Hills, it is pretty much devoid of grass and trees. It is windswept badlands. You've got like dry, kind of coarse grass all throughout. There are tons of exposed rock faces, steep escarpments all around. The hills themselves are dry. It is, like I said, again, fairly kind of dusty, but there are like little tiny tributaries and streams that you'll see. Nothing of real significance like a full-blown river, at least not where you are. But, there is sources of seemingly fresh water throughout the area here. You also know the perception of most people in the Desserin Valley is that it's, like, crazy wild. It's like this wild west. Nobody wants to go out there. Oh, the Sumber Hills. From what you're seeing, though, doesn't really seem to be the case. It seems relatively easy travel. There used to be a lot of, this is all stuff that I'm sure Ozzy can tell you because I'm sure he's researched everything. They used to have a lot of rock quarries and things out here. And you know that in Red Larch quarry, there was 2 quarries there as gravel and stonework. It is a sort of theme for the region. Sometimes wealthy nobles from Waterdeep would build hunting lodges out here, as there was the potential to run across interesting creatures, mountain goats and rams, and potentially even rarer, more monstrosity-like creatures that would den in hillish areas. But basically, through rumors or realistic rumors of banditry or more infestations of monstrous creatures, this seems to be a lesser occurrence than it had been in years past. And that recently there have been sightings of weird, menacing figures and strange creatures, but again, that could just be rumor, as this has a sort of a perception as a wild area. So, you guys continue for the whole day. You basically make it, it's easy going at the start before you get into the hills. So I'll give you 15 miles because of physics today.
Yay.
So you're halfway into the second hex, as it were, on this map. Before you guys reach the end of the day and night begins to fall. I'm assuming you guys are going to do watches, but I want to ask if that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, Igni doesn't really need to sleep, so.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, since the 2 elves need like only 4 hours of like meditation each, I think they would be the watch keepers.
Okay.
I was gonna cast alert on our
Alarm?
chill outs.
Also,
Yeah,
since the whole day I've been reading that manuscript, do I learn anything from it?
It's yeah. Go ahead and make me an intelligence check just to see how much you pick up.
Sure.
Or I guess you could make intelligence is good.
Okay. Well, that's starting off the game with a natural 1.
No!
Hi.
So it's in Dwarvish. Funny enough, it's about dwarves.
Dwarvish.
It's about dwarves. This
That's
dwarvish tome.
fascinating.
So there you go. That's what you. Are you over his
read
shoulder
Dwarvish.
reading the book with him as well? Because he's reading it in Dwarvish as well. Because he understands Dwarvish. He's, yeah, basically, and I'm assuming that you've been basically like this the whole way, like walking along, but you're like, every so often, like there's a noise or a sound that's unfamiliar to you from being your library-ishness, that you like turn and look up and lose your place.
I'm essentially like a city goer on their cell phone that constantly has to keep looking up to make sure I don't bump into someone. That's what...
Exactly. So you've probably reread this one page like 3 or 4 times as you're trying to. So you're like, okay, so there's dwarves. What is that? Huh? Okay, so dwarf, and then so today has not been also
not get very far.
Also in Ozzy's mind, he just witnessed the murder. So that's very different from his time spent studying the elements in the library. So that may also be slightly pressing on your mind as you try and lose yourself in this book.
I'm also going to say I'm distracted because Bigby's on my shoulder and interfering with me reading as well.
Which is also a thing. Yes, there's a lot of craziness happened last game, for those of you who might have missed it.
I have a mouse lemur pet now.
Yes, which is, whether or not it's true, Ozzy is 100% convinced that it is Bigby, as in the creator of all of the Bigby's hand spells.
It's because it is Bigby.
It's because you're right. That's because it is.
Bigby's hand. Dope spell.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, it is.
The guy who created it is in lemur form on his shoulder. So.
Right. That is right.
Seriously, that's so dumb.
No.
Dumb spell.
I love Bigby's hand. It's great. Is it just basically Igni alternating with Vanan casting alarm ahead of time just to make sure, and that's basically the way the watches go?
Yeah,
Igni... when I'm on watch, I want to try and teach my I want to try and teach John some tricks.
John.
All right. Go ahead and make me a animal handling check.
Make a John check.
Yes. By the way, for those of you who saw where I posted across from my hotel in Philly was a soft serve John. Turns out John is a Philly term for like joint or place. It's like a local Philly like word. So it was in like the heart of Chinatown is this soft serve ice cream joint.
That's amazing.
Cool. I got a 20.
Yeah, you definitely.
22. Sorry.
What trick are you trying to teach? Like.
I am teaching John to retrieve my arrows.
Okay. Yeah. You start off short shots, right? Because you don't want to lose them in the woods. So you start off just like half, maybe a quarter draw strength, and you just kind of like let it shoot off maybe like 20 feet. And yeah, after about, we'll say, you take your 4 hours of meditation or however it works out, but basically you have successfully, at least as for the short distances, probably out to about 60 feet or so, convinced him how to run out and pick up in his vinish maw or in his vines, and then scamper back to you with your arrows.
Awesome.
Whether that's what you focused heavily on at the moment, whether this will go to retrieving other things you haven't tested, but you seemingly have taught him how to retrieve arrows.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm excited.
So, there you go. All right, Igni, you said you were going to be covering something, or...
Yeah, she'll always take watch from a tree or a higher place if there is one to be had.
There's not much. There's like a handful of like your classic dead, spindly branch trees around, but you could definitely get to an elevated location just the way the nature of the rock outcroppings are, so you could be up and above. That's definitely not an issue.
That would be her place.
Okay, cool. And the evening also goes by uneventfully. You guys are like, what are these people worried about?
It's a lovely place.
It's probably nothing. This is totally normal. Anyway, so, then you guys set out for the second day's travel. We're actually getting deeper into the hills themselves at this point. So, let's see. We're still pretty far from Belliard. So, who wants next random encounter? We'll start with a D20 this time. I'll let whoever wants to go, or I'll just keep making Brittany do it. And then if you guys get something, then we can blame her.
Do it, Bucky.
20. 10.
Okay. I'm not even going to make you roll again. Things, again, surprisingly uneventful as you continue on throughout the day. You recall a little bit, the shepherd who told you that he had found bodies in the mountains. You recall generally where he kind of pointed you in, and you believe that the kind of way you're going, you sort of curve off of the path a little bit into more of the grassy area, sort of almost around sort of the outside curve where there's a little bit of like an inlet in the mountains. And you guys start heading that way, and you believe you're in that area. Or you think you're around where he described to you. If you would like to search for those, whoever wants to do that, I will have them make a perception check.
Yes, Igni would like to perceive things.
Sure. Anybody that wants to, go right ahead.
I only rolled a 9.
I mean, I'm probably gonna fail, but I'll try. I got a 19.
Yeah, that's not bad.
I got a 6.
Okay. Well, so Ozzy, you actually do
Pull
see...
my face out of my book for a second.
Yeah, you're like, oh shit, what's that over there?
I have my mage hand. My mage hand is holding the book in front of me, so I'm just kind of like.
Oh, yep, there, right over there. So, on a barren hilltop, several miles from Red Larch, you find 4 freshly dug shallow graves. The earth scraped out for the holes is piled nearby, although hastily gathered stones cover the graves. The faint smell of death hangs in the air, and several vultures circle overhead.
I come to a stop, and whoever's behind me is probably going to bump into me.
I would be like pretty far up ahead up front.
Probably me. I'd probably stick pretty close to Ozzy because you're like I'm like, was I escorting you?
Me.
Yeah.
You're kind of like my teacher and also bodyguard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't
Teacher guard.
Teacher guard. Yeah. Because I don't think I was assigned to be your bodyguard. You just kind of like we teamed up, right?
Well, no, you were assigned to be my bodyguard because the church technically paid you to be my bodyguard.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. I forgot the details. Yeah. So I look and see that you're looking at something, and I tune into what it is you're looking at as well.
I'll point straight at it and be like, "Well, I think those are the graves that they were talking about."
Let's go check it out. See what's in those graves. Or
I believe you absolutely should.
Yeah.
What?
Gems and weird graves. I ain't trusting them graves.
So Igni would like to approach with stealth, if at all possible.
Sure.
I'm gonna you stealth. I'll go straight forward into it and maybe be the distraction if anything pops up. So yeah, I walk right up and look into the grave.
I'll stay a little bit behind them.
Okay. Yeah.
26 on that stealth roll.
Yeah, you guys are like, so, all right, and she's just like, and it's like an open, barren field, but somehow you just don't see her. You don't know where, hiding in a cloud of dust, something, I don't know, hiding in Lilith's shadow, I don't know, but she's gone. But Lilith, yes, you walk all the way up, right to these graves, you're there in front of them, and nothing pops out or anything, and you see basically what I had described before, a pile of dirt off to the side where these, and from having spent an extensive amount of time digging,
I'm very familiar.
you are quite familiar with digging.
Proficient in digging.
Proficient in digging, for sure. Chivalry is one of your skills now.
Like when
You might say that she's a shovel knight.
Oh, see that? I'm gonna get inspiration for Ozzy because
I have inspiration, but I'll take it.
Yeah, you can have another one. I don't care. I'm giving it to you because best game. So yeah, you can tell that these are definitely exceedingly shallow graves. As someone who has dug a significantly deep grave, this is quite shallow, as if done with haste. But there is enough dirt to basically about four graves, all kind of the same shallow depth, but rather than being filled in, again, because they're shallow, they are basically like rock cairns on top of these mounds of bodies. And because of that, you can smell the death in the air because it's not below ground, it's just got rocks, so the scent can seep out through the spaces in the rocks.
Mounds of bodies?
No, mounds of rocks on top of the bodies.
On top
so
of
it's
bodies.
like it's
Okay,
like
what?
basically if you
Yeah.
dug like a 2-foot grave and set a body in it, you can't cover it up, so they basically
Right.
built cairns on top.
Put some, yeah. So cool. I want to look and see if I can identify the bodies, so I start removing the rocks.
Okay. You go one at a time.
Yeah, just from left to right.
Okay. So the first one, as you remove the rocks, again, the scent of death and decay gets stronger as you do so. This is a body of a male dwarf. You can tell because there's still, significant amount of hair and the beard is still there. And, he's not fully decayed. He's not a skeleton. That's enough to still identify. He's wearing clothes. He's dressed in artisan robes.
Okay, we got one male dwarf artisan robes.
Mm-hmm.
Any particular markings that might identify him, or just general robes? No insignia?
Make me a history check.
That's going to be not very good. Where is it? History. That's gonna be a 5.
There's some smudged markings on his robe, but nothing that really jumps out at you.
Okay. Iggy sneaks up behind you and goes, "Let me see." She rolls a 13 on that history check.
Okay, that's enough. What you can make out from the slightly dusty, dirty, smudged robes is there's iconography reminiscent of Mirabar, which would make sense given that a Mirabaran delegation, at least some of it, went missing. And Mirabar is a trade city, hence you guys are familiar that Mirabar has these things. They have Mirabaran trade bars, are their form of currency. They basically have a gold equivalent, these trade bars. And Mirabar has a heavy dwarven population. Lesser in recent years, but basically the history buffs will know that there was contention between other dwarves and Mirabaran dwarves, as during previous wars that have since been quelled in the region, the Mirabarans, the Marchion of Mirabar, the leader there, decided to not aid the other dwarves in their battle, and some dwarves stayed to be loyal to Mirabar, where others defected and joined their dwarven brethren to basically become exiles of that city and then be rechristened as dwarves of a new clan. But there is a heavy dwarven presence there, and smithing is something they are known for. So you would guess that this is probably the artisan nature of these robes. He's probably a smith from Mirabar.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
What about grave number 2?
Okay, this is a female human warrior, and she is in a red surcoat and has an onyx black axe. Basically, because of this,
cool.
this is the black axe and the red robes is the symbol of Mirabar's army.
Oh, interesting.
So like maybe a guard or an escort?
Potentially, yeah. She's got she's wearing, chainmail. It's a little bit rusted, so you don't think there's really anything there. The axe is cool. It doesn't seem to be magical in nature, but it's just a that's sort of their
battle axe or great axe.
battle axe. And you do see sort of around her, having looked at it a little bit closer, broken remnants of what you assume to be a wooden shield, like shattered in the grave as well.
Damn. Okay. Great. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, but just between the stench and now staring at 2 bodies, can we tell how long they've been in these graves?
Like, are they bloated?
Yeah.
You
That's
know
a
what I
gross
mean? Like a week would probably start to.
Go ahead and I guess both of you having been doing inspections. So I don't know who wants to make it. One of you can have advantage, but make a medicine check, and we'll see what you can.
I rolled a natural 1.
Okay, so I rolled a natural 20.
Then we'll go with that.
I vomit promptly.
Yeah. So I will. Looking at this, from these two at least, you see that the smith, the killing blows seem to be made from arrows, or some sort of. They seem to be arrow wounds,
Okay.
from what you can tell. The warrior seems to be a mixture of some sort of bludgeoning, a bludgeon of some sort, a crushing bludgeoning thing mixed in with arrows. Let's see. How long have they been dead? You recall that the shepherd who told you about this was when he came by this area about a month ago. There were no graves, so they're definitely less than a month old.
Okay.
That he found them from his spouting off his story countless times in the tavern. He had said it was about a couple days ago, so you're not exactly sure how long it could have been. It's like you're looking at like a 10-day window probably. So these guys have been in the ground for maybe 20 days, maybe 15 days.
Okay.
Something like that.
Enough to get funky.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not fresh no more. Okay.
No.
All right.
So grave number 3. I don't know. Do you guys feel like we have enough information on this, or should we keep prying?
I don't see anything because I'm about like 50 feet back at this point.
Yeah. He can't.
I want to
Amy, what do
be.
you think?
I want to be keeping an eye out just around us.
Okay,
Yeah,
you can make me a
how
perception
long-
check,
Yeah.
Vannon.
You said 4 graves?
Yes,
Make a
you're.
Yeah.
perception check.
Yeah. Vannon's gonna make a perception check. You're 2 of 4 in.
Why not? We're halfway.
I got a
We're halfway
16.
there.
Okay.
Well, shit, we might as well uncover the
noted.
rest of them.
Yeah. Let's keep going.
Okay.
You never know.
The next one, and Vannon, it's noted. I got your roll, so if it comes up, I will let you know. This is
Okay.
this is a male human warrior in a black cloak with eerily familiar to all of you, but again specifically you Igni, strange stony splint mail armor.
Oh.
This earth cultist looking armor that you sort of have an idea that matches with your weird dude who was in the
Right,
cave, the
right.
guys that attacked you. It is basically, I showed you guys last time, but it basically looks like it's crafted from rock. It is funky and been in here for about 20 days. But it is splint mail, so it's a little bit of an upgrade for Lilith if she really wants to extricate it. It's an option that she has, and lo and behold, the guy seems to be roughly the same build if she so chooses.
Igni leans in and goes, "You could take that armor. Do it."
Lilith is like really. She just finished vomiting from the stench and the death and the idea. I'll be dead honest, you guys. She's not gonna want to touch that armor.
That sounds really gross.
That sounds.
Yeah, it's probably starting to liquefy. Like the body, bodies kind of start to liquefy when they decompose. So like, hell no.
I will also tell you that they all have their, like, basically the remnants of their eyes still. So they were not on the surface. They were seemingly interred relatively shortly after they were buried so that the birds were not able to peck out their eyes, which is usually the first thing to go.
Oh my god, that's so real and so gross. So definitely leaving that shit. I turn to Igni and I'm like, start to like, oh, I'll get some other armor. It's okay, thank you.
You're going to make it through next body, and Igni maybe pushes the last rock off the grave.
Yeah.
Another male human warrior. This one is in white robes with black feathers at the shoulders. This is nothing like you've ever seen before.
Oh.
What do you think that means?
I don't know. And she motions for Ozzy to come close. Use your brains to figure out.
I'm back here.
Ozzy, why don't we go a little closer?
I'm gonna take a the white robes. Is there like a symbol or anything on that?
Yeah, let me see. There is, I think. Let me just flip to the page where they are, and I will tell you I'll show you maybe even what they look like.
I'm gonna rip the fabric off of that with the symbol on it and stuff it in my pocket.
Okay.
For later, for identification purposes. Later.
Sure. Let's see.
It's not touching the dead body, right? Besides just being on it.
Yeah, it's
not,
basically
like, wrapped.
it's around it.
Oh, I was hoping it kind of had stuck to it. You had to like.
Oh God, like a bandage. No, thank you. But...
Sort of. Like that, right?
So fancy.
Yeah.
So like that.
Cool. Yeah, I grab that little symbol and rip it off, and probably vomit again.
Yeah, it's more the symbol is really more in the feathers themselves, right? The white robes with these black feathers is the most identifying feature. Also, as you're going slightly closer there, Vanan, with your perception check that you rolled from before, you see a pile of stuff kind of off to the side behind a rock. It is a bunch of broken, busted arrows, a discarded javelin, and a tattered gray cloak.
I'll take the cloak and javelin.
Okay. The javelin is serviceable. The cloak is tattered, but I mean, it's still a cloak.
Can I tell anything interesting about the cloak? Is it just like a random gray cloak?
Yeah, it doesn't seem to have any like specific. Nothing magic, nothing too crazy about it. You do also see that there is a bunch of tracks, but they don't seem to lead off in a singular direction. They're like confused tracks, as if someone was walking, stumbling, going in circles, not really sure where to go. But from here, you can also see, because it's sort of a little bit elevated, where you kind of like go up a little bit to find these behind a rock. So we're moved away from where these bodies were buried. But this actually gives you a decent view of the surrounding area. So you can see several miles back from where you started, the outline of Red Larch, the city. And you can see the thin, dark line that sort of marks the long road, the more well-traveled road that leads up and down the Sword Coast. And about 2 miles north of you, you can see what looks sort of like, it's hard to tell just based on the distance, but maybe some sort of tower or spire or something with large birds circling around it, large enough that at 2 miles out you can see them, but nothing else nearby.
I'm gonna beckon to Ozzy, like, yo, dude, come over here.
You can circumvent around the outside, Ozzy, and not get close to the bodies if you would like to do so.
Yeah, that I would very much like to do.
Okay, you can definitely do that.
You definitely see, like, there's a There's a lot of fear and sweat in Ozzy's face right now.
I'm like, hey man, what do you think of that? And I like point over at the tower.
Yeah.
Oh.
Ozzy, you basically, because it's 2 miles out, and nobody has like weird barbarian powers or Eyes of the Eagle or anything. It's still 2 miles away. But again, to give you a frame of reference, it's 2 miles out, but you can see it. Like you could see that there is clearly a structure there, and the birds, seemingly birds circling it, are large enough to see at this distance.
Cool.
Big.
I'll say,
Big
well,
birds.
I think that's a tower, and that's some birds.
Igni goes, big birds. Big
Yes,
ones.
very big birds.
Pretty big.
Pretty big, yes.
Igni also says, she says, is it just me or does it look like somebody trying to hide this
What?
event? The killings and the hiding of the arrows and the things. It's like trying to wipe it clean of never happened.
It doesn't look like they tried that hard because they were 2 feet in the ground.
I didn't say they were smart about it. I just
mean,
said
that's fair.
try. They put them in ground very quickly. They hide their things, the arrows, all the stuff.
Can I try and make sense of the tracks?
I was literally gonna ask that.
You can try, sure. It's gonna be a difficult check just because it's windswept in this area and there's a ton of them. But yeah, I'll let you make a head. Go ahead and make a survival check.
I have advantage if it was a humanoid.
Okay. Well, yeah. Go ahead and make it with advantage then.
That is a 19 and 22.
Nice.
Okay. It is difficult. It takes you're here for a while trying to suss out a singular source of tracks, especially a singular source of tracks that leads off in any kind of direction. But you do manage to see a set, like a loose again, and it's not singular, and the seemingly nature of these tracks is lost. But they seem to head northward, which is in the direction of that tower, but before you just lose them to the dirt and the wind.
All right, that makes sense. I didn't expect to get like a lot of information. But
Right.
just, like, a little bit. So I'm gonna turn to my pals, my party members, my cohorts, my companions,
Yes.
my adventurer friends.
Your posse.
Yes.
Ah, get out of my head! I was gonna say that too.
Why are you calling us this, Vanan? We're standing right here.
My cohort, my adventurers.
You're
I've
still
been
saying
able to
you
kind
can
of
talk to us.
I've been able to kind of make out these tracks. They're kind of like all over the place. They don't really make any sense, but I've been able to like figure out that they're kind of heading north towards that really tall, creepy tower with the giant birds. So if we
Really?
want to
Just-
follow them, or at least the direction that whoever left these tracks was headed
Did
towards the tower.
we get a map of something?
No.
We have a map of what?
You have a
We have
map.
Of a dwarven stronghold somewhere in the Sumber Hills.
Right, you don't have the map to that stronghold, but you have the map of it when you find it.
Yeah.
Ah,
If you find it.
Does map have tower? Is blueprint show tower?
It does not.
Okay.
Ozzy has studied this extensively, so you'll know it when you see it. I'll say that.
Okay.
But no, it does not. It's a dwarven stronghold, so it's assumed to be
Mostly under
subterranean.
Inside got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lilith votes that we can stay the course, and maybe we'll get some answers about that in Belliard. She has a funky feeling. She's like,
That does
"Ooh,
sound fair.
I don't like it. Dead bodies.
Big birds.
I would like
tracks
to leave
going off in
here.
that direction.
I would like to leave here as fast as possible.
Yeah, I'm down. The stench is overwhelming.
Igni recovers the bodies. It attempts not to leave any tracks or trail that we were there and have done what we have done.
Okay.
I help you.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Go ahead,
So-
what you got?
But let's
So-
make a mental note. Do you think you could, on the scrap of paper that says pseudo map, do you think we could mark it roughly? Like, are there any landmarks that we could make a note on our little baby map where that tower is?
You could, I mean, you're high enough up, you can kind of get a general idea of where, you know where Red Larch is in relation to where you are currently. You know where the Larch path leaves Red Larch and enters into the Sumber Hills, because you have gone off the beaten path to find these. And you have, you have an idea of where Belliard is supposed to be, and like a general blobish, like the hills are here, and like it's like a kind of like a squiggly blob. Like these are the hills. Belliard's over this way. Red Larch is here. Dead Body's here. Spire is roughly here.
Okay.
You also, I will say, based on where you guys are, feel like if you wanted to, it may take a little bit longer, but you can probably still stay the course to Belliard, but go like maybe a couple miles out of your way and get closer to this tower, and still be in your general direction that you want to head, if you want to.
Little bit of like sneaky poo reconnaissance.
Little detour.
That is definitely an option you could do if you want. It will, like I said, it'll probably add a half a day to a day's travel, depending on how much you want to stay there and look. That's probably not much more than a couple miles out of the way, but depending on how long you want to stay there and observe, or what you want to do if you see things or people and want to interact. But you could continue on your path and get relatively close.
Do you guys want to check it out?
Iggy said, yeah.
I think we should check it out at least like a little bit.
Lilith wants to go because she's very concerned about the comrade of Samalvar.
Mhm.
Comrade.
Yes.
The fellow knight of Samalvar. So she's got a little bit of anxiety about like getting to closer to figuring that out. So she's very reluctant to take longer.
Do you think the tower or any of the weirdness that's been going on here would have anything to do with the missing expedition that took this path?
Probably.
Have we connected these bodies with? We have not necessarily connected them to the caravan we were looking for, correct? Or to the delegation that we were looking for.
Well, you do know that two of the people have iconography of Mirabar, and it was a Mirabaran delegation.
Delegation.
Yeah.
So,
That was the hint.
So you
if
don't.
they were killed.
I don't remember, and I'm going to leave this on your guys' notes, whether or not you heard the breakdown of anybody in the caravan last time. So if you do, that may help open your eyes to some of this. If not, then probably not. We're gonna put a little note taking.
Weren't you talking to some were the Harper's dwarves?
No, the Harper was a human.
Yes.
Human?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the one that the book was snatched
from. Why do I
from.
remember dwarves from...
Two dwarves.
Two dwarves.
Two dwarves, I think, is what I had in my notes.
Sounds right. Two dwarves in the caravan.
That's what my notes say. Right here. Two dwarves.
That you talked to?
No, that you heard of being in the caravan.
In the caravan delegation. Yeah, in the delegation. Two dwarves. We only found one buried?
Correct.
Either got away or that fool is taken as a prisoner.
Yeah.
Oh! Tussle
wait.
of feet! Tussle
What?
of feet? The foot. The feet, we can't make out what they are because there's no solid path. What if there was a tussle to get the second dwarf out?
What if the other dwarf was the one who did?
Oh, sneaky, sneaky.
So many things.
Sneaky dwarf.
Lilith says, you guys know what I want to do, but I'm not staunch in that. So if you guys all vote to go to the tower, of course I will come.
I'm with my bodyguard.
So yeah, Igni and Vanan. What do you guys want to do?
Igni wants to trust her instinct, but she's not sure what that instinct's telling her.
Vanan is... I am interested in that tower.
Okay, if we approach the tower, Can we all agree that we're not gonna go in the tower?
Yeah, I'm not about to go in the tower without knowing anything about it.
Yeah.
I feel like going to Belliard and finding out more
Okay.
is
That's
good.
my
But I feel like
instinct.
walking by
Yeah.
and like checking it out and checking out the area and like mapping out like so we can get back to it easily.
Yeah.
That's
Is
my instinct. Is
like
like, let's
what?
find out more information about it. Then we might have a better game plan for actually like
Yeah,
getting
totally.
in and because Igni knows there's fucking treasure inside, right? All towers have treasure of some kind.
Well, tower reception.
Unless it's a wizard tower and it's trapped with nothing but magic.
Mm-mm-mm. And who knows? And can we like they from our view? These just look like massive birds, right? Like
Correct.
they don't have any weird characteristics.
It's 2 miles out.
Big ass birds. Oh yeah.
Yeah, no way.
So-
That means if we can see them, they're huge.
yeah, they're
That
giant.
is, they are large enough to see
Let's take
whatever they
a
are.
safer road. I say we take safe road. We finish through hills, and we get more info.
I'm
Yeah.
done with this. Let's do that.
Agreed.
That does sound fair.
Okay.
Plus,
Do
it
it.
smells here.
So
it
you-
smells bad.
You guys are not going towards the tower, or you are?
We are not,
Not
going towards the tower.
tower.
The group decision
Okay.
is we are moving forward.
I'm not about fighting giant birds right now.
Oh, okay.
What's up, Van?
Wait, I thought we were gonna like go closely, but not go
no.
in.
Oh, I thought we were trying to gather more information about it when we reached town.
I thought we were gonna like go nearby to check
Clearly,
it out.
we're just
like,
all on
yeah.
different pages. So everybody, write down what you want to do.
All right. So I will say again. I mean, you can see it from here. It's about 2 miles
Yeah.
away.
Let's check it out. Bid them. Let's do it. Let's
Sure.
walk up. We
Okay.
see if it's
Not
safe.
go
Not
inside.
safe.
Yeah,
Keep a distance
We're
It's
from
just
the
not-
gonna
giant bird.
we're gonna like do a quick little drive by, like slow down to 12 mph and then speed up and drive away because we
That's-
don't need any of that shit.
Do a little
Like
bit of
roll down the
rubbernecking.
windows,
Yeah.
but lock the doors.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
gotta do some fantasy rubbernecking.
We're gonna roll down the windows but
Rubbernecking.
lock the door.
Fantasy rubbernecking.
Bring on that 2 mile hike. Let's do it.
Okay. So you guys now set out on that route. Also, yes, I think that's Keldwin in the chat. It was a what if, so that technically means you have to drink, as that has been apparently been determined as the as a drinking game rule for this stream. Is whenever the party says what if, everybody drinks.
That's awesome.
Well, be
too bad I
prepared.
have water, you guys. I have a beer on the way.
Drunk as fuck.
We will we'll work on nailing down our drinking game rules for this stream as we go along. But yes, whenever the party says what you mean, you would have been dead after last stream. But anyway, so you guys head on your way. It was about noonish when you made it to these graves.
Oh, okay.
So you can probably think you can get there around 3, 4 in the afternoon, but because you're being cautious, you're trying to stay potentially, you're keeping an eye on this place as you go, watching these birds and whatever else you see as you get closer. So about how far away from this place do you want to be when you do as you're going by, like when you first mechanically make a perception check?
1,000 feet.
That sounds like a good number.
Okay.
I was about to say the same number.
Great. Okay, that is perfect. So you guys want to be 1,000 feet away before you make your roll. So, yes, go ahead and everybody make me perception checks.
Damn, I'm rolling terribly.
Me too.
Ugh.
12.
I'm on fire tonight. 21.
Do it,
14.
man.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so Ozzy and Vanan, you both can see as you get closer this spire, as it were, seems to be set in a canyon. Like you have the rocks, and there's basically a cut in the mountains, and this thing is basically almost like think of the Grand Canyon, right? But with a singular rock mound and then a worked stone spire on top of it, with what you can see to be a bridge extending to it with a drawbridge that is down, leading to the front of it. You also can see a gatehouse, basically at the front of this bridge, and you can see these birds circling about, and it appears that these birds are, they look to be vultures. Very large. One might even call them giant vultures.
Oh shit.
It basically looks like that.
Oh,
Ooh,
damn.
You can get
that's
a good
cool.
look at that, like that.
And that big old bird photobombing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Wild.
Damn bird. So what do your elf eyes see, right?
And Vanan, you can see now, because you rolled higher, that there are people on the backs of these birds, riding
There are
them.
people on the birds. Yeah, hey guys. There are people riding the giant birds.
I don't like it.
I don't either. Why don't we wosy our asses away?
I am for that very much. Let us go.
Does it look like there's like this is like a stronghold for like military, or are we guessing that like people like live here, like there's like a city or town inside this like area?
You know what? I will also say to you, Vanan, you can see white cloaks with feathered mantles on the people riding these birds, similar to the one you found in the grave.
Oh, so they may be friends, but maybe not. But I'm gonna tell the party. I'm gonna be like, "Hey guys, the people riding the birds are wearing the same thing as that one dude in the grave."
Then I don't know that they are at all involved with our plans. Right? They can't have very well killed and taken knight if their own people in grave.
Yeah.
Clearly,
I'm not-
these people might not be cool with the people that we've encountered in Red Larch with the other funky armor. What if it's a
Yeah.
But they were both there. They had one funky armor, one feathers, you know?
Right. There has to have been some kind of skirmish, though. Or maybe they're working together. Who knows? Now I'm really confused.
At this point, as you're sitting there talking this all out, Lilith, you remember something. You remember descriptions and a mission that you were sent on initially, before you joined up with Ozzy and all of this stuff. A mission that you were put on by Waterdavian nobles to retrieve a young noble gone missing. I'll get you her name as I flip back and look at it. Where is it? Savra Bellabranta, a Waterdavian noblewoman, who was said to have last been seen at Feathergale Spire. As you talk through all of these things, see the armor, the giant birds, see the spire in front of you, this seems to all start to click together for you.
Oh, okay.
Feathervale Spire?
Feathergale Spire.
Feathergale.
It's a very air wind theme going on here.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I feel like all these people are part of whoever owns this tower.
And when I was tasked to find that noblewoman, did I just kind of give up, or is that why I'm out on in the first place?
Well, we talked about this way back.
Yeah,
You and I
sorry.
talked about this a long time ago. That's okay. I had to jog Chelsea's memory about the stone armor on those guys before, so it's all good.
Yep.
The only one who's had one that's been super easy is Ozzy's got a map, so his is pretty easy.
That's why I was like, I know we've talked about this. And my brain was like short-circuiting because I'm like, wait, when?
And I tried so hard to shoehorn Vanan into one, but his backstory is just like so chill that he just doesn't need to be tied into the adventure like any other specific way. He's just like a chill dude. Also, he lived in the woods alone. There's nothing that I can be like, and then this happened, because his story was very succinct. So yeah, basically, what I'm gonna, we can talk about this, we can work this out right now.
Yeah.
Like, this was your mission, you were sent on this, and you remember, obviously, you have your issues with nobles in Waterdeep, right? You have
Right.
your issues with that. But this order came along, and you were sort of, the Knights of Samilar sort of put you on this mission specifically, as your dedication in that order is to justice and the law and doing the right thing. And as almost as sort of a test, as this sort of, you're rescuing a noblewoman who was off doing whatever at this spire at the behest of other nobles who you don't like. But it's the law that it's the right thing to bring her back, as she has fled as some sort of rebel, which for all intents and purposes, I'm assuming Lilith probably doesn't care, because it's a Waterdavian noblewoman. Like, she has her own issues with them.
Yeah, like she's probably ran off for some mundane reason, like she was tired of her parents forcing her to do something she didn't want, so she was like, everybody, like something that doesn't really have anything to do with the grand scheme of things.
Sure.
So that's probably why she was like,
And I'll get, but the order put you on this, there was no time frame on when this had to be completed. It was just sort of like it needs to be done, but they sort of picked you for this specifically as a test of your faith and dedication to justice.
Okay. I think remembering that,
yes,
Lilith probably, okay, Lilith turns to you guys and says, oh man, I just remembered, and then regurgitates all this from this memory that she has. She's like, all right, so we've got two options. We can go on to Belliard, but also I can just walk up to that gate real quick and just be like, hey, I'm looking for this person under the Order of Samilvar, the Order of the Crown, Waterdeep. And I mean, I don't think they would, like, we're just here looking for this person that I'm supposed to bring back to Waterdeep, so I don't imagine. Like, okay, so that being said, the order, yeah, I mean, I don't know, Ted, would, under the Order of the Crown, would Lilith have normally be used to going down and like bringing people back, and most organizations being neutral with the Order of the Crown, or are there?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I think so. Like, you mean, basically, are they gonna have issue with you doing this? Is I guess what you're.
Would she get that? You know how, like, don't shoot the messenger. Like, a messenger can go into enemy territory and be like, here's the mess. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean is, for the Order of the Crown, she probably would be pretty used to going into hostile territory, but because she's unrelated to all of that, she can pass. I'm getting really specific, you know what I mean? Sorry.
No. You're, based on the little bit of what you've done so far, yeah, you're probably right. I mean, the Order of Samilar is not an unknown order, especially in this particular region. Of, like, they have a heavy presence, as Summit Hall is in the Desserin Valley, which is, a handful of miles away from where you are currently. So, that's not but as you would know and have heard stories from our paladins and knights, that a lot of that, you're there to do your job, but ultimately it's going to come down to for all intents and purposes, your mark, your quarry, if you will.
Yes.
If they go willingly and don't make a fuss about it, there's no issues. But they could obviously, for all you don't, you show up on the doorstep and they spout off some story about who you are and what this whole thing, and then they're already, it's situation by situation.
That would not be the smartest thing, because we need more information. So, okay, I recommend that we go to Belliard. I have this sweet perk called Knightly Regard, which I receive shelter and succor from members of my knightly order and those who are sympathetic to its aims. I'm assuming we'll probably be able to find some people of that caliber in Belliard.
A reasonable assumption, yeah.
Okay, so I share that with you guys. We could probably get hooked up with a place to crash if we head to Belliard, and we can ask some more questions about this mysterious tower.
That sounds dope to me.
That was my original. Yes, that was original suggestion. Let's do it.
It's like,
yes.
We've been pointing the whole time.
More info.
Yeah.
Okay.
Down.
Okay.
So we just gonna back away, freak the door back closed, and just
yeah.
Okay. Let's do it. Find the main trail.
Okay. So you guys You can backtrack the way you came, or essentially work your way down the mountain, like on like a 45, like down the cliff face to the road, if that makes sense. With relative ease, it'll be faster than backtracking all the way back. But I am gonna have you guys make me a athletics check to make your way down.
That's gonna go real good for me.
Let's do it.
It's not that difficult because you're at a 45, and if you're smart about it, it won't be too bad. But we'll see what happens.
I got a 1.
Oh, I got a 17.
I got a 5.
I got a 2.
Okay.
I'm bounding.
Athletics. Yeah, can we get a dex check versus a strength check? It'd be all about that.
So,
Just speed running at 45 degrees down.
let's see here. So how do I want? So basically, Lilith is able to with relative ease knows that like you don't go running feet forward facing down the hill. You sort of adjust yourself to a sideways position and sort of basically slide your feet down the hill and sort of go down on that way so you don't slip and fall, and you have a little bit of controllability of how you move down, which apparently she doesn't quite impart to the three of you guys. As you like, she just assumes that this is a thing that you guys do, and she just and then hears like the as like the
Y'all, I just hop on my shield and snowboard downhill.
Nice.
I'll allow it, sure. Yeah, you could totally Breath of the Wild down the hill on this. And basically, you start going, you know, cautiously. And then you see basically your party going like they're walking down this, at which point it turns into a mad run to keep the momentum, to try to keep their feet underneath them from going behind them so they go head over heels. At which point, eventually, you're like, well, all right, if this is how we're going to do it, you just shield board down to the base, and you get down there, and when you get down there, you see them running, and they are basically almost all, like, it just looks like a shit show, right? It's like, they're running, and they're almost all in a line as they're going down, like, they're, like, going back and forth as they're coming crashing down. I will give you the option, since you are down there, you can catch one of them from basically either hitting, like, and tumbling and rolling, or basically running and then trying to attempt to run back up the other side of the hill to try to lose momentum and out, or like crashing into a wall. So who would you like to catch?
Who's closest? Who's
They
first?
basically, you have the they're all neck and neck.
Oh.
You have the option.
I'd probably knee-jerk reaction go for Ozzy, because
Okay.
I'm kind of in, like...
I mean, I have a way to try and figure out if you'll let me do something.
Yeah, what do you
I have
got?
a way to try and... So, since I'm going so fast in one direction,
Yeah.
due to the laws of momentum, if I misty step back the other way, will I start running up the cliff? I will let you misty step, basically, because it's never been addressed in any formal documentation that I know of, and I think it's fine because I've used it before, and I've argued heavily with my DM to make it happen, and I'm going to prevent that it doesn't. You can essentially, for all intents and purposes, if you cast the misty step, because it does take a little bit of mental preparation to do it, Right.
as you're doing it, it will essentially arrest your momentum. Like, you cast it, and when you dissipate into the mist, it will, basically, your momentum has since been, like, the rocks, it's lost, because it's magic. You
Right.
disappear to another plane of existence, where, sure, you're running there for the 2 seconds that it takes you to transport. So if you want, you can just bamf down next to Lilith, as you start to feel yourself going head over heels, you can just...
Yeah.
And then that's fine.
'Cause I'm thinking with portals, and I like momentum.
Yes,
But yeah.
that's fine. I mean, if you want to do that for the sake of doing it, I'll let you
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah, I'll
Sure.
do that. I'll
You-
blow my second level spell slot.
Do you? I mean, if you want to portal back up and run up the hill, I'm fine with that too. That's...
Well, I'm just thinking like as I'm going down, I'm like no, and as I'm about to thing, just misty step back up a bit, so I'm like able
Sure.
to catch myself and
Yeah,
slow
let's go
myself
with
back down.
let's go with that. Mechanically the same, but the way you want it to be described. So that's what happens.
You're
You're fine. You see this, you're like ready, Lilith, in like a catcher stance, like ready to grab Ozzy, and you see him just like
and then like just boop, boop, boop. So now like you're turn over and you see Vanan and Vanan and Igni rather, because the names are backwards in the way I'm looking at them on roll Pyrian. It's all good. You see them both, the dexterous ones who you feel would have no problem with the simple jaunt down a cliffside, just ready to fucking eat it. So I'll still give you the option to try, but I'm gonna give you disadvantage on this check because you were focused on Ozzy, and now you're like, shit. Right. So
who you want to? Vanan this whole time is like, save John, save him.
I'm guessing in the split-second decision, Lilith remembers that Igni has worked for a circus, right?
Ish, yeah.
You're a performer, yeah. So I'm like, okay, she's good. She can tumble, and then reaches for Vanan.
Okay, make me an athletics check at disadvantage.
The first roll was 18.
Okay.
And the second roll was 17.
All right, yeah, he basically goes and he clips his foot on a rock and like takes it into the air, and because of the angle, he's loose. And as he's basically about to just go over and just fucking face plant on the ground and then like his body continue, you basically just strong arm, just catch him in the air. Got him. Knock over a beer bottle or whatever. Keep your can. You basically, Vanan, the wind is knocked out of you as she basically like grabs you around the gut with her arm, and you impact into, metal armor, but you're okay. Igni, you are in a tumble now. I will let you make a acrobatics check at disadvantage to attempt to lessen the damage as you're basically trying
to stick the landing.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that one, first roll with acrobatics is 21.
Okay.
Second roll is 15.
Okay.
So 15.
Yeah. You basically you start rolling, and basically you can feel like the stones under your back, but you try to turn it into some kind of like a pratfall as you're trying to just go with the momentum as you are like, all right, this should work. Let me try this. So you end up taking a grand total of 6 bludgeoning damage or falling damage, I guess technically, as you feel basically it's just the impact of tiny stones like up and down your back, like the worst massage by the least trained person. But you manage, as you hit the ground, you basically, and it's like you watch her and it's like boom, 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 and then like you hit the ground and like you get that final roll on the road. You are able to stand up, like, so you finish the roll and stand up, but you feel like shit about it. But hey, you're on your feet. And, from your perspective, it didn't look too bad, but the pain is still there. I mean,
could be worse.
As Ozzy finishes making his way down the mountain, watching Lilith's dirtboarding down the mountain, essentially, he puts up an old arcane sign in his hands that just goes like this.
Yeah, nice.
Nice. That's
very nice. Yeah, so you guys are down back in the valley. So that's the thing. All right. So I guess we're just going to continue on towards Belliard then. Correct?
That is the plan.
Okay. All right. So you guys will move on, and let's see here. What do we got?
I'm gonna say, for the sake of this day, so much has happened. I have not looked at that book once.
That's fair. Okay, so you guys basically continue on for another. It's getting around to dusk-ish time, almost time to bed down for the evening. When you guys are traveling through a pass where the hills are sort of up above you, and you're basically going through a ravine, and you see like a couple of like rocks just rolling down the side of the mountain. Could just be the nature of things. Probably nothing to worry about. So you're trudging along, barren countryside. When you continue a little further, and you hear low, distant rumbling. You continue on. Now that's weird, but whatever. Rocks shift, and things cleave, and it's fine. It happens over time. Geology. But a moment later, the ground beneath your feet begins shaking. The tremor is strong enough to echo what you saw before, sliding pebbles down the hillside. Shrubs nearby and brush begin to wave side to side, but then it subsides. And all seems quiet. A moment later...
Seem like we're getting stalked.
A moment later, horrible insect-like creatures as big as horses burrow up out of the ground around you guys. I will need you to roll for initiative.
That is not chill.
Whoop.
And because I've messed with your guys' head and brought up backstory and everything, I am going to use my new 99.7% balanced D20 that I picked up at PAX, so that I don't have to worry about what my players hate every Tuesday night. So we've got, but these are the level up, the sweet Air Force grade aluminum D20s.
Nice.
Look at that.
That's nice.
They are so, like, I was trying to do an interview with them. They explained to me the science behind these. It's so cool.
That's cool.
Like, how each one might have a different engraving depth on each number, or like the number may be shifted on the, so it's not all in the center to make sure that it's evened out with the way the metal is. So cool.
That's cool. It's really cool.
All right,
Okay.
so let me get my notebook here, and then you guys can go ahead and give me those initiative rolls. So I guess, Ozzy, I'll start with you.
Sure. I got an 18.
18. Lilith.
I got an 11.
11. Vanan.
17.
17. And Igni.
12.
12. Cool. And then the bad guys rolled relatively low. Out of curiosity, if I had rolled with my normal die, it would have been an 18. So you guys are left out that it was only a 7. Let's see what we got here. 7. Come on. 7. Okay. So, because of the nature of them popping out of the ground and all of the tremors and things, which put you guys on edge, you are not surprised. So,
No.
Ozzy, you're up first.
All right. How many do we see?
2.
2. Cool. And how close are they?
They are within 5 feet of you.
Awesome.
Popped out right next to you guys, but like 5 feet
right
on
next to
opposites.
us?
Yeah, like essentially, party one on one side, one on the other.
Okay.
Sort of. Actually, not sort of. They look like that.
Oh, okay.
No.
To
That's
get
terrible.
Those things are large.
yes.
This is very large.
No, thank you. Okay.
Oh my god. So
Yeah, Ozzy, yours up first.
So, that ends its turn there. I'm not going to do that then.
Okay.
I am going to, since it's right next to me,
Yep.
and I don't like being next to things,
A reasonable assumption.
I am going to disengage and run.
Okay.
Because wizards should never be in close combat ever.
How far do you move? 30 feet?
I'm going to say I move, no, not 30 feet. I'm going to say I move probably 20 feet back.
Okay. Back the
So
way you
still
came?
within close range of my party, but not back the way we came.
Cool. Okay. So that is Ozzy's action. So Vanan, you see these things freak out, and Ozzy loses his shit and runs past because he's like, I'm not gonna get stuck in between these guys. He's also had a very weird day. You uncovered bodies. It's been weird. He runs away. He almost fell down a cliff. But it's your turn.
I'm gonna hunter's mark one of them.
Okay. You do so.
Yes.
Go ahead. You have done that.
And then I'm going to attack.
Okay. Make me an attack roll, please.
And I have advantage on attacks against creatures who have not yet made an action.
That is true. You do. So go ahead and make an attack with advantage. Oh, shit. My cards are over there behind me, but it's fine. I'll get them if I need them.
I got a 3 and a 14. So, I actually, that's a 18.
Okay, that will hit.
20.
Yep, that will hit. So go ahead and roll me some damage as you shoot an arrow into this. At first, you're worried because it is a fairly thick-looking carapace on this creature, but it doesn't seem to have much reflection on your arrow as you make your shot.
6 plus 3 is 9 plus... I think it's 4. So, 13, I think.
13?
It's 13. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So, as you shoot an arrow into this with your hunter's mark, clarifying where you need to aim, you see as the arrow pierces, the arrow begins to smoke. And you hear this sizzling sound as the arrow enters into this creature. And then Igni, it is your turn.
Okay.
You think it's got, like, xenomorph blood?
Yeah,
Maybe.
Okay. Is there anywhere to hide? Because I would like to take a cunning action as a bonus to attempt to hide, if at all possible. Or find cover.
Because of the nature of me saying you were in a ravine,
Probably.
I'm gonna say no.
Okay.
You could disengage and get around behind one or something like that if you wanted to.
I mean, they're all within 5 feet of us, so you can sneak attack.
That is
still
also
get
true.
sneak attack
Correct.
Regardless. Okay, so I get it anyways. Okay, so then out her sweet silent dagger.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
That magic star dagger, and maybe attempt to... I don't know how thick its legs are. I'd really love to, like, take down a...
They are insectoid-like legs. The front legs seem to be larger. Think basically like a land lobster, right? A big horse-sized land lobster with massive mandibles and no claws. Like big legs but no claws.
Okay. Can I mount it?
You can...
I would like to stab it from behind. Because, I mean, right? Like, it's...
So you
it's
go
like,
after its thorax, right?
Yeah, like I'd
that's
like to
its
get on top of it.
Yeah, let me...
I'm just gonna say phrasing first off.
First of all, yes,
phrasing, let's just put
absolutely.
it out there.
I'd like to mount this giant horse-sized thing. Yes, so you can attempt to climb onto it. It is larger than you. Actually... Let's see here. You can attempt to make... let's see.
Right?
Let's see. Small or medium creatures, a chance... yeah, okay, so you can... Okay, I'm just trying to make sure I'm reading this correctly. Yeah, okay, so you can attempt a athletics or acrobatics check contested by its acrobatics check to climb onto it.
Okay.
And that is your action, though.
That would be my action. Okay,
Yes,
that
'cause
is
this
what
is-
I would like to do. I would like to try.
Okay, so athletics or acrobatics versus its acrobatics.
I'm gonna do a tumble onto its back using acrobatics.
Okay.
Whoa! Not good at all. So a 10.
It rolled a 4, so you,
Oh.
it spins around and then it goes to look at you, and you basically are able to, basically, how do you want to do it? How do you want to climb onto its back?
I would like to kind of get a running start and then do like this giant front flip, like bounce and bound and gain enough momentum to jump on its back.
Okay.
And
so
then
you,
grab hold of its thorax.
Yeah, so basically you flip over, and it sort of, you saw that its head sort of has this sort of crest. So you're able to get bound up over that, and as you roll along its back, you are able to sort of grab onto the segments of the plates on its back and get a grip, and able to turn around and get yourself in a non-prone position on its back, basically just rodeo style hanging on to one of these segmented plates.
Alright, cool.
And then that makes it Lilith's turn.
I use my action to where is it? What's it called? I'm gonna use my action to ignite Radiant Soul.
Okay. So you do that. All right. So for the first time, possibly for these guys.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be magical for you guys.
So you guys watch as well. Describe it to me. Let me not take your moment here.
The only thing I can think of, but way less glamorous, maybe think of a little bit more like clunky. You know the Sailor Moon transformation?
Clink, 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 clink.
Actually, no. He-Man.
Oh, all right.
Oh yeah.
He-Man. She takes her sword named Lucifer and like pulls it up into the air, and then light erupts from it, and then all of a sudden she's like glowing. Probably blinds you a little bit.
Yep.
And when you blink your eyes and can see her again, she's like got these radiant wings that have sprouted from her back, and her eyes are glowing.
Yes.
She is lit.
Yes. In a He-Man-like fashion, the area, the sky around darkens momentarily as this beam of radiant light channels down the sword. And yes, that happens. Ethereal angel wings, feathered angel wings, appear sprouting from the back of her armor. Although they seem to have no substance, you do get the feeling that they would allow her to take flight if she so chose. And yes, her eyes are basically beacons of light. No real pupil, they are just basically spotlights.
I love Channel Divinity. It is like the dopest shit.
Wow.
This is not. This is actually not a Channel Divinity.
Oh.
This is an Azamar.
This is her being an Azamar, challenging her angelic heritage.
Radiant Soul. I
Yes.
chose Protector, the Protector one.
Nice. That one's super cool.
You do still have your movement if you would like.
Oh shit.
Oh, sweet. I fucking fly.
You watch as these wings push the dust away from her, and she takes off. How high up in the air do you want to go?
I don't want to get too high up that I can't like attack the creature. So like.
No, you can always move back down on your turn on your next turn.
True. Yeah, I shoot up so that I can be above. Maybe I don't know, like 10 feet above.
Okay.
The creatures. I don't know.
Sure.
I guess I don't know if they can jump, but.
All right. Fair. Okay. So you do that. You take off into the air. You're 10 feet above them, and then it is their turn. So the one that has Igni on its back is going to scuttle, and you hear the clicking of chitinous legs moving. It's disgusting and gross, and like. Imagine the sound that people make in movies for spiders moving, but amplified to that of a horse size. Those legs click, click, click moving, and the mandibles are clacking, and you see... At this point, you notice that Vanan's arrow has disintegrated. It has melted away.
Oh, hell no.
And it lines itself up, Igni on its back still, moving her with it, lines itself up in front of Vanan, and then sees Ozzy further away. Moves in towards Vanan, and you watch as its mouth opens, and it hurls from its mouth this line. It spits forth. I'm going to need Ozzy and Vanan to make me dexterity saving throws, please.
I'm going to use one of my inspirations on this.
Sure.
Oh my god. I should have positioned.
Did you say
myself.
dexterity?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Dexterity, okay.
I'm so
I
grossed
got a
out.
14.
I got 2 14s, so that's a 16.
Okay, that's actually both enough to pass, so you'll take half damage. It hurls this forth a line, and as you see it coming, it's going to basically be 5 points to each of you. You watch as it sizzles, and you smell this, you see this line, and it just smells like you can feel almost like your nose hairs burning off. This caustic line of acid spits forth, and you see as it sizzles away on the ground, and it hits both of you, and you take 5 points of acid damage. And then the other one is going to look up at the angel, and is going to spit a line of acid up at the angel in the sky. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please, Lilith.
Doobie-doo, stand by. That's going to be 16.
Okay, that's more than enough. So this one's going to deal 6 damage to you. 6 acid damage. And then that is its turn. Their turns, they're done. And then Ozzy, it is your turn.
Cool. Are the 2 bugs within 5 feet of each other?
Now they'd be 10 feet apart at this point.
Okay.
Because the one had to move in to get to Vanan, but...
Okay, cool. So I'm going to essentially turn around and throw my hand out and right behind the one that just attacked Vanan, I'm going to summon a flaming sphere.
Okay.
But instead of a flaming sphere, I'm going to make it a force sphere.
A force sphere. All right,
Which
so
essentially, the way I envision it is that it looks like, if anybody's seen Naruto, it looks like Rasengan.
Sure,
which is just a blue, swirling vortex of kinetic energy.
Yeah, and you know what?
Why
not? We can say that as you're transforming, you summon your elemental spectrum right in front of you as you're going to do this, and you start to conjure the fireball like you normally would, but instead you're like pulling your hand across it, and it turns the fireball into a ball of energy, and it's sort of Sengon, and it goes behind him, and then it has to make a dex save?
Currently, it's right behind it, so I don't think it has to make a dex save yet.
I wasn't sure if it was it or within 5 feet of it, so...
If it's currently there, and if the creature ends its turn within 5 feet of it, then it makes a dex saving throw, and then I can, as a bonus action on my turn, move the sphere up to 30 feet to ram it into someone.
Theoretically, couldn't you move it this turn? Because you just did it as an action.
Yes, I can. So I'm going to ram it into
both of them. Because you could move it through it.
Yeah, sure. I'll do that.
Okay. So yeah, absolutely. So they gotta make dex saves. DC what?
My DC is a 14.
Yeah, they both fail. So go ahead and roll me. What is that? 2d6 damage.
2d6. Yep.
Sure.
That's going to be 8 force damage.
8 force damage.
Damn.
All right.
Oh, man.
So that is... Okay.
And that's just going to stay right where it is on the other side of the other one. Pull it back on my next turn.
Okay, great. So you guys watch as this blue orb of anime energy appears behind these guys and then just swirls through both of them, and they take this damage. Vanan, it then goes to you. You are able to, it's not any kind of nothing crazy. It's the damage and it's acid, and you saw that it burnt away your arrow, but it doesn't seem to have caused any noticeable damage to your armor or your robes, Ozzy, or any of your armor, Lilith. It doesn't seem to have that kind of a caustic nature. But it is your turn.
After seeing the acid, I'm just gonna tuck John even deeper inside my clothes.
Absolutely.
Aww.
Get a buddy.
Protect John.
And I'm gonna take another shot at the one that has my hunter's mark on it.
Okay. Yeah. It actually didn't move to within 5 feet of you, so you can make the shot at a regular shot, no problem.
Alright, cool beans. 22.
Oh yeah, definitely. So go ahead and roll me damage. Don't forget to add your d6 for your hunter's mark.
And now, because it's taken damage,
Colossus Slayer, sure.
Nice.
Get it.
So I got an 8 and a 1. That's 9. Plus another 8.
Nice.
So that's 17. Plus 4 is 21.
Alright, so you basically, as this thing rears back and it's clacking its mandibles in your face, and it rears back like it's going to grapple you, you also get the feeling... Yeah. What do you say?
Can when it does that,
yeah.
I like the idea of me just...
You totally muted there for a second.
Oh,
as you described it.
Through its mouth?
Sure.
And, through its head?
Yeah, as it's going back, you get the feeling that, as it's doing this, you do get the feeling that the mandibles are large enough to physically grapple you and hold you in place. Potentially to do that to continually deal acid damage to you. But as it does that, you do shoot up into its mouth, out the top of its head, and you watch as the light lessens and disappears from its 4 compound eyes as it crashes to the ground in front of you. Dead.
Oh, shit.
Nice.
Nice.
That's sick.
That's pretty cool.
Anything else on your turn?
I'm gonna back away next to Ozzy.
You can also transfer your hunter's mark if you want. As a bonus action.
It's action, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That makes it Igni's turn.
Okay, Igni would like to take the dagger and attempt to rip the thorax open. I don't know if it's like a soft thorax, but like finding a soft spot would be nice.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and make me an attack roll. It is at an advantage because you are on its back.
Hot damn.
All right. Oh, yes. So that would be 26.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll your damage. Add your sneak attack because you had advantage on it, so...
Correct. Okay. So 7.
17 points of damage.
Wow, alright, yeah. You are basically able, and as you bring it in, the dagger makes no sound. It impacts into the carapace, into what is seemingly a soft spot, again, making no sound. And as you pull the dagger forth, the spray of acid comes with it, and you notice that there is no damage, no burning, no nothing to this blade. Yes. It is completely protected and shielded by the magic that is within it. And in a very Rico moment from the first Starship Troopers, as you're hanging onto the back of this bug with one hand, you cut a hole, essentially like a hole in the back of its back. Unfortunately, you don't have any nukes to throw inside it to blow it up, but, you know...
Right, I wanted an acid fire really bad, but I don't have any. I'm gonna pop that right in there.
Sure. And then it goes to Lilith. Lilith, you see all of this happen. There is one left where Igni is sort of like hanging on the side of this thing, having carved a hole in the top of it. It is your turn. What would you like to do?
She's gonna go to the one that's alive still. Not Igni, you killed yours, right?
No,
I'm just hanging on to the back of it.
Oh, gosh.
She basically cut a hole in its carapace where she stabbed, in the thorax there, and then she's sort of just like hanging on the side of it as it's flailing around, and it is your turn.
Oh, I'm just gonna dive bomb it and smack it with my sword.
Go ahead. Because it's cool, I'm gonna give you advantage on this.
Sweet.
It's pretty fucking sweet.
No. So it was 15 plus 8.
Yeah, you did. Totally, you hit. Yep.
Okay, cool. And so I'm So that's 1d8 plus 6 plus 2. I always forget to add the 2 from my fighting style.
Yes.
Let's see. There's a d8.
And you can choose to smite if you so wish. It's an option.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I want to fucking smite.
So you can blow a first level spell slot and add 2d8 to the damage.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so I'm going to smite. So one roll is 7 plus 4 plus 5. And then I also get to add 8 plus 8 to that.
So want to just
do me so fucking much? Like, what?
Just do me a quick math on that. Never mind. That I counted the numbers. It's fine. It's good. So yeah,
I wasn't keeping track.
How do you want to do this? How do you want to kill this thing?
I want this shit to explode.
All right, so.
But like not
only energy.
I don't want it to.
To cover everybody in acid and got it.
No. Just light.
Sure. So yeah, basically in a combination dive bomb Link from Smash Brothers, you just bring into the hole that Igni carved into the back of this thing. You just sink the blade into its back, and as the divine smite energy courses through this blade into it, you see along the hole, along its eyes, along the seams in all of the legs and the carapace, it begins to radiate this white light as it just goes bright. And again, and similar to the motion when she grew the wings in the first place, everyone's sort of blinded for a second, and then the thing basically drops to the ground. Igni's able to roll off unharmed, and it's basically just a smoking husk, and all of the internal organs have been cleared out.
Ooh, okay, right on. I was gonna catch Igni if I could, but you
can catch her too. That's fine. You can do that too. Yeah. You're so great. You do both. You can fly.
Catch me. So I just fly you gracefully to the ground.
I just envision you like super angelic wings, completely outstretched, slowly floating down with angel feathers raining down behind you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Fucking awestruck. She's fucking awestruck.
Do I have you damsel carry? Am I damsel carrying you?
Yes, she never let a man damsel carry her, but she will let Lilith.
Yes, there's a very serene, angelic, Superman-like quality at which she slowly touches down. If she had a cloak, do you have a cloak?
No.
If you did, it would be billowing like it would be the most epic billowing as you just touch down, and then because it only lasts for a minute, eventually the wings sort of fold inward, and in a flash of radiant light as they appeared, and her eyes return to normal, and the wings dissipate, leaving no physical trace, and you are there on the ground with Igni in your arms.
Igni goes, holy shit, you can fly?
Oh shit, and I forgot that attack did an extra 3 radiant damage because it does extra radiant damage equal to your level.
That's right.
Oh, right.
So
did anybody do the math on that? I wasn't keeping track.
7,
I think it was like a 5, a 4, a
4,
7, plus 8.
9, 16, 8, 24, 27 points.
Jesus Christ.
That's ridiculous. I'm kind of bummed that it was just like, I mean, that was a sweet coup de grace. Like, I'm stoked about it. But I'm like, damn, I can't wait till we're battling bigger shit.
Well, here's the thing. The best thing about, and again, as someone who's new to playing a paladin and someone who has played about 8, I can speak to this very well. You don't ever waste divine smites. You only use them when you hit. So you can never waste a smite. But you can save them for when you crit, because the smite dice are doubled too.
It gets insane.
Shit.
Because it doubles, all dice are doubled. So if you had crit on that, it would have done 68 damage, plus 8, plus 3.
Fuck!
Yeah.
We're a level 3! You're a level 3!
For a first level spell slot. And it goes up a d8 each level up to a maximum of 5d8, plus 1d8 extra if it's fiend or undead.
Yep.
And then if you hit level and then if you hit level 11, every attack you do, no matter what, does an extra d8 radiant damage, as you are so suffused with radiant energy. It bellows into your sword all the time. There is a reason that in front of me I have this many d8s, because I play paladins so often. I have enough that if I crit, that I have enough to do that.
Man.
Ozzy is slowly realizing he is in way over his head.
And then you can...
unaware of her powers. It's untapped potential.
Yes, you are paladins and rogues, basically single... I know this, having done it. You can't throw a single target, because they're like, oh shit, a dragon. But like one crit from a paladin or a rogue, or a paladin and a rogue on a dragon, and it's like, well, fuck, I quit. Like, this is game over. That's why it's just like a ton of kobolds is great. Because all those little guys piddling away at you with pack tactics goes a hell of a lot further than one big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Dang.
we're gonna take that's a good point to take a break, I think. Everybody's on a pretty good high. Time to go get drinks and whatnot.
Yes, coffee.
I will tell you that this weekend at the Adventurers League we played in an epic, which is a room where there are 23 tables and everybody is playing on the same mission. And it's basically the town we were in was being swarmed by pirates, and we all had to do things, and it gave us collective successes and failures. And based on that, things happened throughout the event. Like, the pirate ships would bombard the streets, so we'd all take damage. We'd have to roll, we'd get impaled, things would fall on us. And the pirate captain, who was this crazy fiend chick, would appear at people's tables randomly, played by one of the people in there, and then you'd have to fight the pirate captain. She was crazy powerful. And we were this was happening, we lost the 2 or 3 things, we're in the last few minutes, she's there, we're trying to fight her, and she comes, and basically if you succeed, it gives you a boon that you can give to somebody else, to another table. So you're here, this gives you a volley of arrows you can call down on the next enemy, this gives you a dinosaur you can summon because it's in Chult. And our table, we did so much damage on the first time that she came back to us, the captain, for the final fight. And, one guy did 1 attack, and then our paladin crit and did, 85 damage and killed her in, 1 move. And, it was probably the coolest D&D moment because they announce out loud that she's dead, and then the whole fucking room erupts at, around our table because we did it. It was so cool.
That's cool.
Moral of that story is paladins are great. Anyway, that's enough of that. We are going to take a break. Everybody get drinks, whatever. You know what? I mean, I had no expectations of where we're going to go today, so you know what? And I have off for the rest of this week, so fuck it. I'm good to go as long as you guys want to. So, yeah, we'll be right back, guys. I'll throw up some music for you guys real quick here in the chat. And you guys feel free to go grab your stuff. I'll mute the Discord, so I won't be able to hear you, but the chat won't be able to hear you either, so go for it. Chat, you can still hear me as I get the music set up and running. I hope you guys are enjoying the craziness that is Princes of the Apocalypse. You guys can't see anything because I just did that. I'm going to put up a link here in the chat for you guys for our giveaway that we have. I'm going to throw up the BRB here in the middle because we do have a giveaway going on currently. And you guys should enter it because you can win free Xanathars and other stuff. And who doesn't want free stuff, right? But, yeah, Ankh Eggs. Great low-level monster. A lot of people miss them because they're in the A part right after Angels, so people just skip by them in the monster manual.
Oh, yeah.
So, makes me feel like there were dire Ankh Eggs way back in the day. But
these ones are really big.
this is what they usually are. They're actually they're actually not that powerful, but the low level people freak out when they hear about like acid, right? Like it seems dangerous, and you know, like I said, there's no corrosion to your armor or your weapons, but it's a cool way to, like, you know, melting projectiles seems like a cool way to get people worried that they're gonna lose shit.
Yeah.
If you've never done it before, I recommend a 3-cream. 3-creams are a lot of fun.
They really, when I look at what they, like what they have and stuff, like I forgot all the things that they can do.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
So, you know.
That's my dog, sorry.
It's funny.
She makes like legit gremlin noise. She's trying to get the other dog, our other dog Snacks, to play, and he just like sits there and looks up at me like. She's 3, he's 10.
Gotcha. All right, you guys ready to jump back in?
Ready.
Cool. So let's go over here to this book. So, having dealt with these strange underground monstrosities that breathe acid, or spit acid, I should say, and have this bony carapace, showcasing some pretty cool abilities used by the party, including the first appearance of Lilith's wings. We, you know, relatively unhurt. You guys continue on through the ravine on your continued path towards the city of Belliard.
Sorry, I've had many conversations about having conversations while we're live.
Dude,
That's
do your
fine.
thing. Listen, this is a very fun stream. I have a really good time. It's only been 3 sessions, but I have heard from several other people, which I will let you guys know, outside of the game and outside of comments. I've heard from several people on several occasions how much they love this stream, how funny all of you guys are. And, like, I've even had people come and say, I wish my game was as funny as your guys' game.
Aww.
Because, like,
Spoiler alert, though, it can be.
yes,
Just
it's true.
Just dig a hole.
Just dig a hole
Just dig a
and
hole.
talk about pickles. Pickles and holes. That's all it needs, guys.
Be very insistent.
Yes.
Like, really insist on that hole.
Pickles and holes. That's all you need. You heard it here first, folks.
Traps.
It's like a good Saturday night.
Like I said, I mean, I think it all, not that it's a necessity, especially, and again, there's nothing stopping you guys from having this at a home game. I know people talk like we're on stream, but I think to a degree it helps a little bit that all of us we do our own thing outside of this stream. So people are used to the online, used to the sort of performance element of a live stream game, and I think that helps. But there's no reason that you can't have this in your stream, your podcast, or your home game. It's all about expectations too, right? You got to talk to people. You got to let them know what you want to do and what you want to get out of the game. If everybody's on the same page, why can't you have fun? Right? I mean...
Yeah.
It's true.
I don't want to spout off any more about that, but I just thought it was worth mentioning that that I have had people say this to me. I think I did also have somebody talk about how, like, don't mess with Lilith, she's so intense. Or something like that. Somebody commented in the Discord about, like, yeah, Lilith is insistent, or I forget what the exact wording was. Oh, I'm sorry. The exact wording is, damn, Brit is brutal. That was the terminology. That was what was said. Anyway. So, let us resume. So we'll come to the end of the day. That seemed to be the only real danger in the area. You also get the feeling that most lesser creatures and lesser animals and lesser travelers as well probably didn't pose much of a threat for these guys. So now that they're taken care of, there's probably not much danger else in the area, as this was sort of their territory. So you're able to move on, and you come to the evening, where it's time to sleep. I'm going to assume that things go the same as they have gone, as far as resting goes. And I will need, during the evening, Igni to roll me a d20, please.
A 7.
Okay, nothing happens. Everything's good. I hate how Wizards does encounters, but I'm going to roll with it for a little while till I go to my own table.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just so annoying. They're like, here's all these...
If you roll a 1 through a 19, the part.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's... The majority of Wizards encounters are 16 plus, if not higher, to generate a random encounter. It's like, why'd you even bother putting these in the book?
Yeah.
Your chance of that.
You know, you're at a less than 75% chance. But they spend, like, pages describing the encounters.
Yeah.
Whatever. All right, so you guys sleep through the night, no issue, and you wake up the next morning, continuing on your journey through the Sumber Hills.
We get all of our HP back, right?
Yep, HP, spells, all that good stuff.
Toy.
I gotta lay down.
Um.
All right, cool.
Oh, kitty.
Aww. Just coming to say hi.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you guys can continue on without relative setback, and because Davis hasn't done it yet, why don't you go ahead and have Vanan roll me a d20, please?
I got you. I got a 12.
Nothing happens. You guys continue on for another day. And another night. Why not? Ooh, hello. That's an interesting one. We might have to use that, because that looks cool. Oh, no. We haven't done anything to piss those people off. Yet.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. We haven't done a hole in a few days.
Yeah, but that's true. Lilith and a shovel. Nope. Good. I'm going to write something down, because that's awesome. Cool. So, that's so dumb, but I love it. The next day, can I have Lilith roll me a d20, please?
I got a 12.
Cool. Next day, Ozzy, roll me a d20. It's really...
I'm my charger.
You hear how everybody's talking about how dangerous this place is, and you're like, I don't know what anybody's talking about.
I'm gonna roll my grog die.
Let's see it. What's Grog got?
3.
Yep, that sounds about groggish. All right, Igni, next day, d20. You guys are just booking through this. They're like walking down.
We're having a casual stroll through the Sumber Hills.
A 2.
We're like, this was supposed to be hard or something?
No, the dice is not yours.
I think I think that like flash of light scared everything in the area away.
Yeah, that sounds right. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Yep. Sure. Probably. All right, Vanan. Let's get one from you. You guys are like getting. You've made you're deep in it now, man. Yeah, you're almost ready to freaking leave.
I got a 2.
God damn it.
Can you say... oh man, I got a 19.
No, man, it's all good. It's all good. It's fine. If I really wanted this to happen, I would just make one happen, right? Like I'm not an idiot. I'll just be like, hey, and then this happens. More Onkegs show up, which is on the table, which we're gonna skip because that's dumb. We already did it. So at this point, you guys have made it. You've been traveling for several days into the Sumber Hills. At this point, you see that the road splits.
Oh.
The path splits. One sort of continues on what you assume to be the path that will lead you out to the stone trail. This other one leads off to the right towards sort of like in a ravine-ish area, and you're not really sure where it goes.
Okay. I'm looking at the map. I want to...
Is there anything we can perceive from where we currently stand?
No, not like. What are you looking for?
I guess I'm interested in like the reason for change of path. Is it leading? Does it look like it's leading specific to a trajectory? Is it like a hunting path? Is it just like a crevice that we can crawl through? Like what?
It seems to be a walked path.
Okay.
Where it leads or why it leads there, you don't know, but you do see that it leads off in that direction.
I mean, we've got our basic sense of direction down. We know kind of what cardinal direction to take to get to Belliard, right?
Correct. So it looks like it would be not this path to the right. You just don't know where it goes.
Any footprints down the right path?
Yeah, but it's not. Nothing looks recent.
Nothing,
it's just like the general traversing through it.
Normal path.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we plan to stay towards Belliard, so we should stay towards Belliard.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
A reasonable assumption.
Yeah. Let's just go down. Let's just go to Belliard.
Okay.
So close.
You still got a couple days, so I think we're back all the way around. So, Lilith, give me a d20 roll, please.
Sure.
Make it a 20.
I rolled an 18.
Oh, hey.
Oh.
Can I get a d12 and a d8, please?
Okay, d12 and a d8. That's going to be a 6 and a 5.
So 11. Okay, cool. Yes, the chat
Yeah,
says finally.
Yes.
Oh.
Appointment.
Alright, hang on. Let's find out.
I have the song, you know the song like Rollin', Rollin', Rollin'. I have that song stuck in my head. Ride!
Pack 'em up, move 'em out.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys come across a homestead here in the Sumber Hills.
I don't trust it. Burn it! No, I'm just kidding.
Is this just gonna be like just totally chill?
It's you find as you get closer, it seems to be the home of a human couple and their 3 children.
Well, you know how I feel about parents and children.
I do.
They're not priority. No. Are they just going about their day to day?
They are just living. It's like 11 o'clock around lunchtime. The mom calls the kids inside from playing outside for lunch, as you guys are like coming in the general vicinity. But as you're like a ways off, you hear this because it's a rocky, area, so the sound travels.
Oh,
So it's just a little house.
Little house on the prairie, or little house on the... I don't want to say little house on the hill because that gives it a real bad connotation.
I want to turn to the party and be like, should we tell them that they chose a horrible place to set up a home?
Yeah, what do they eat? And how do they what do they farm rocks? Like, what in the hell are they doing?
Yep, this is a rock farm. Yep.
Oh, we found some Gorons!
We could ask if they have seen the caravan, right?
I mean, possibly, yes.
They would have had to come through here, see past the houses.
If anything, we can at least ask them if what they've seen in the past couple of days, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, because we don't know if the caravan actually passed this way, right?
You don't.
They could have stuck to the road.
Yeah,
This is on the road, right?
Yeah, it's like a little ways off the road. I mean, it's not like right on the road, but like
Yeah.
it's and again, like as you've seen, you kind of saw with the image of Feathergale Spire. There are some areas where it is a little bit more grassy, a little more plainsy. Like you feel like a tornado would like devastate this place if a tornado ever rolled through here.
So they like grow sunflowers, basically.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah.
Sunflower seed farmers.
You guys also have seen literally nothing, so you're not sure if there's any animals here to hunt. But maybe there's really big birds. You do know that. Really big vultures, which I'm sure taste great.
And bugs, acid.
And acid bugs, yeah.
I feel so
Shit, I was gonna
uncomfortable.
mention something back then.
Lilith doesn't want to go. She's like,
Did you wanna-
I don't trust this.
I was gonna, after we fought the eggheads and then we totally went off, I was gonna see if we could just any of the acid from them, possibly.
Well, we can retroactively say if you wanted to attempt that, you can make me... Do you have proficiency in poison or alchemy tools?
Nope.
Then I will let
play
you...
a mean game of Dragon Chess.
All right, I will... Unfortunately, that doesn't come into play here. It might in the future. I will let you make me an intelligence check as you attempt to extract a vial of acid from them.
That's a 11.
You're fumbling around. Most of it... The one, it has nothing in it, because Lilith just burninated it, and it's gone. And unfortunately, the acid resonator that exists where most of the acid is extracted, like it has acidic xenomorphic-like blood, as we alluded to before, but the actual gland in the like head that causes the acid to project was shot when Vanan went through the head, so he unfortunately ruptured that. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. I tried. Fast forward.
Before we approach this homestead, I want to do divine sense.
Sure. Do you want to be within 60 feet of the house so it works?
Yeah.
All right. So you do. Divine sense lets you... It's an action, but we're not in initiative, so it doesn't matter. Lets you sense the presence of fiends, fae, and undead. Or fiends... Fiends, undeads, and celestials. I'm sorry. My mistake. Doesn't blip anything.
It tells me if objects have been consecrated or desecrated as well.
Correct. Yeah, you don't get any... No fiends, celestials, or undead. You also now know officially that your party aren't any of those things.
Cool.
Which is good.
Oh, right. I didn't even think about that.
True, which is the thing that you know. So that's, you also know that it is not an area of desecration or consecration. There is a slight aura of consecration around your sword, which doesn't surprise you, really. But that's about it.
Yeah. All right, I turned to everybody and I'm like, this place is not evil.
Says Lilith,
really
the sudden robot.
I just envisioned you walking up in this like big suit of armor to this house, and then they just look at you, and then you're just like, "This place is clean."
Yeah, basically. I like look around for a little bit, like sniff the air, and I'm like, all right. So, I guess I've already approached the homestead. What do you guys want to do?
We're right next. I'm assuming they see us.
Oh,
Like,
they're
the-
inside
like,
because they're eating, so like they're at lunch at the
they're
table.
inside. Okay.
So they you heard the mother call them in for lunch. The kids in for lunch.
Do we want to possibly question them? Maybe ask if they've seen anything lately?
Igni, you're muted.
Still muted?
Okay.
There we go.
There she is.
They are eating lunch. Should we just leave them alone? Or is... I don't like to be interrupted while I eat.
I know.
Do we
True.
That's a very good point.
We just wait on the front lawn until they know.
Why don't we?
Yeah.
We could just sit outside and have our own lunch, and then when we're done, we can assume they're done, and then knock on.
So we're gonna have a picnic. Yeah, we're gonna have a picnic in the front yard.
Yeah. Not
Okay.
weird at all.
No?
I mean, at least we're polite.
You're not wrong. I mean...
Yeah, can we wait it out until I guess they're done with lunch? Is that the plan, gang?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if they happen to like walk by their window for whatever reason and like sitting cross-legged outside, you know, like they're probably gonna. That's gonna reduce their concern of us being a threat, right? Like that's my logic.
Yeah, Bucky, you sound like you had something you wanted to say.
No, I was just like, as soon as I was envisioning them coming to the window and us just with like food in our mouths.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, hello.
sandwiches.
How are you guys?
We're sharing like carrot sticks.
I mean, we could knock on their door. That is option.
I don't know. It's just kind of like, this just seems like a normal family.
Yeah, I don't know.
Van's just gonna walk up and knock on the door.
You gotta knock on the door. Okay.
All right.
Sounds about right. I'll back him up.
It does. All right. So, and yeah, there's like you hear like a, not like a commotion, but like a, as a wooden chair is scraped across a wooden floor, clattering of silverware and plates, and the sound of footsteps as someone makes their way towards the door, and you see the man opens the door, and he looks at you, says, and he like looks, and then he sees an elf, someone all bundled up with weird face, you know, goggles / veil, a heavily armored knight, and this like kid in robes.
I'm not wearing robes. I'm wearing like a big leather duster.
Okay, kid in a duster, sure. And then he's just like he's like, what even? This is weird. All right, but
Van's gonna be like, "Hail, fellow, well met."
And he like,
what do you wish to do? Do you wish to converse with us? Do you wish to hang out?
he
Those the day.
Igni pushes him to the side.
And he's just like,
Pushes Vanan out of the doorway and says,
We did not mean to interrupt. We just have few questions. We are, how you say, lost?
Van's going to slide a hand with maple candy into up to his face.
so he's like, looks to Vanan, and he's like trying to like, the guy shows up to his house and then asks what he wants to do, and then he's like taken aback by the appearance of the party, trying to figure out like, this is the weirdest conversation he's ever had. He gets slid out of vision, veiled woman in goggles and a hood, all bundled up in an accent, says, "We'd like to ask you some questions," and then like from his periphery there's a hand with a piece of candy like coming towards. Do you put it in his mouth?
I just put it like right in front of his
It's
mouth,
just
like
like
an inch from his mouth.
boop him on the nose with it.
and he's like he like shakes it off a little bit, and he like closes the door behind him because his family is in there, and this is weird. And he
goes to open his mouth and then just turns and starts walking away.
Lilith kind of like is like, let's go.
And he's just like, do you guys leave, or do you...
I just took a couple steps back.
Yeah, Igni takes a few steps back, gives him space,
make sure she's on his bubble, and she says, you haven't happened to see, dwarves come down main path in last, I don't know, a few weeks?
Better question. What's Vanan doing?
Vanan is holding the maple candy and is offering him, like, eh?
And he will take it, like, as it's like this, he'll just, like, take it out of your hand so that he's got it now in hopes that you retract your hand from his face.
Are you trying to eject one? Yeah.
And then he's just like...
I'm just trying to safely unplug.
He's got this, and then he's gonna, like, put it in his hand, and put his hand down by his side. And he's gonna continue to address Igni, as she seems to be the more reasonable of the two that have come to his door.
Trying so hard.
Vanan is gonna bow like this, like real low, and like look at him from like no.
And he's just like,
he is humble elf, super humble elf.
he just doesn't roll an insight check because he just doesn't believe any of that because it just seems like such bullshit. But he's just like
opportunity to step forward and like put my like okay, I put my paladin crown on and I'm like, I am here under the orders of the Order of Samovar on a mission. We're searching for a couple of gift descriptions. Have you seen anybody fitting? I'm trying to be as like official and like authoritative as possible. Have you seen these dwarves pass by in the last 10 to 20 days?
He sort of is shaken from this momentary whatever this is, as he as someone steps forward with a formal voice in a formal capacity, and he sort of stands up a little bit straighter, and you see him let go of the maple candy as it drops to the ground, and he cleans it off, he dusts his hands a little bit to get the stickiness of maple candy off of his hand.
Remember, you guys, I'm 6 foot tall.
Yeah, he's on about eye level with you. So, he will say, dwarves, you say?
Dwarves, yes. There was a party, possibly other folks, that might have passed this way recently. Have you seen anybody fitting gift description?
Insert description.
Short beards, heart.
This sounds like an automated message. This is a call from so-and-so. We are calling Brittany.
Brittany Quintero.
He says I've seen some dwarves, but it was all dwarves. And they seemed to be miners. They had mining equipment with them. That was maybe 5 days ago.
Okay, these do not fit the description that we are searching for. One last question. Have you noticed anybody with these types of robes roaming about? And then I pull the strip out of fabric with the symbol.
And he'll ask, basically indicate, can he take it and look at it?
Yeah.
And he'll take it and he'll turn it over in his hand and he kind of feels the fabric and looks at it, kind of holds it up to the light, trying to get a feeling for it. And hands it back to you.
The thought of those dead bodies cross her mind again, and she's just like, wash your hands after.
He says,
sanitizer.
Yeah, right. He says, nothing close to here, but he says that seems like a Feathergale night robe. Or at least
night robe.
Yeah, someone from Feathergale Night.
I look at you guys and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's okay, so I'm like, oh shit, that's gotta be, and I'm like, is that the spire that's over yonder a couple of days journey?
That's what they say. He says we don't really journey there. We are happy on our little farm here. Our sunflower and rock farm.
Yeah. Okay, so what do you farm? Okay, so I make a mental note that noble girl is probably, that's where she's at. I'm like, all right, so. If you guys want to take an opportunity to step in at this point.
You are from these parts?
Yes.
You know what is between here and, say, where the fuck are we headed? I don't know anymore. We've been traveling.
Belliard?
Belliard.
Right. You know what is between here and Belliard? Yeah?
He'll say, well, a lot more of this. He gestures to the general area. But he says this. He says you'll probably if you're going to Belliard, the stone bridge is before you get there. You have to cross the stone bridge.
Is that an easy task? Yes.
He says no. He says if you're looking for dwarves, you might have more luck there. It's like a sacred pilgrimage site for dwarves.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but that's good to know. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So
It covers a river. It's a massive bridge, but it's strange. It has no supports. It's a long stone bridge supported on either end with nothing underneath. Seemingly, no one knows how or why it's held together, but that's sort of, I guess, the mysticism of it.
I turn and I look over at Ozzy and I'm just like, nudge you, like maybe you could.
You want to make me a history check there, Ozzy?
Sure. 24.
Oh.
Yeah. You know a lot about the stone bridge. You read about it in one of your books.
I'm sure I have.
It's a gigantic stone archway. It's 2 miles long. It is 400 feet high. And it spans the widest spring of the Desserin River. The rumor is that Moradin himself appeared atop this bridge to rally dwarves to the Iron Star clan against a horde of orcs. That's why it's considered a sacred site for dwarves. It's also built to connect parts of the dwarven realms, from one end of the bridge to the other. And it's made of smooth fused hard granite. But it is only 6 paces wide and lacks railings.
Oh.
So traveling in the winter is not advised.
At this point, I've been standing, maybe a little bit further back from them, and I have a notebook out, and I've been actually taking several notes. And I basically look up and I reciprocate everything what you just said to them.
Sure.
And then I go right back to my notes.
Okay.
He said, yeah. What he said.
Okay. Well, we go now.
He's not really sure how to deal with this right now, because this has been weird. And he's like... And he's like... He seems hesitant, but he's like... Do you guys want to stay for lunch?
Igni turns around and looks at the group.
Thank you, citizen. You have answered.
Igni, do you have something other than rocks?
He goes, yeah.
What do you farm?
He says, yes, we have food.
Igni pulls out 2 gold coins and thanks him for his kindness.
Yeah, I follow suit.
4 gold coins? Dude is living large right now, man.
We want the best fucking PB&J you could give us, damn it.
I'm gonna give him 5 gold
Cheetos,
coins.
please.
He is like, why can't I hold all these coins? You just fucking blew, you realize, right, that, at his lifestyle, you just basically tripled his yearly salary. Or maybe quintupled his yearly salary by giving him 9 gold pieces. Especially somebody who...
Let's make it an even 10. Just
even
throw
10
in an
gold pieces.
Even 10, yeah. Throw in 1 gold, another one.
And he's shocked, and he, opens the door, and he, looks in at his wife and his kids at the table, and he, he like leaves the door, sort of gestures for you to come in, but he like walks over to her, and he like has a whispered conversation, and then he's just like, and you see her eyes like saucers at the 10 gold pieces, and then she's like gets up and like dusts herself off and throws on her apron and gets to work in the kitchen.
Well, shit. Okay. What's everybody's name?
Yeah.
He tells you that his name, because Bucky said it, his name is Darunia. Her name, the wife's name, is Garnet. The one daughter's name is Maud.
Oh.
There's Maud.
The other daughter's name is Pearl.
Aww.
And the son's name is Diggory.
I feel like Diggory's always getting into trouble.
He is the only boy. He's the youngest of the three.
Little rascal.
You know it for sure.
He is the youngest
I
child.
love these Earth names.
Man, I'm a geologist. I could do this for days.
Can I give the kids some maple candy?
You absolutely can. And they like look at Mom, and she like nods that it's okay.
So creepy. This man just
It is creepy that this elf is just handing out candy.
It is,
Everything
but
but
they
a van.
they just gave him 10 gold. Like
I
the
mean, that's fair.
Yes, that's true. Why not some candy to go?
They'll
with
leave the
it?
pocket lint on it and everything. No problem.
To your point, Celeste, no. There are no names in the book. I made those up.
Maud's from My Little Pony. That's
You're
Pinkie Pie's sister.
You're right. That's exactly where that's from. Because when when we came up with the idea that they were on our... Listen, I almost named them all... I made them the whole Pie family, but I decided against that. So,
That would be some... I don't even know the name of Pinkie Pie. I just know Maud because she's a reoccurring character.
limestone, marble. Her father is igneous rock, and her mother is cloudy quartz. But that's besides the point. I just watched that episode like 2 days ago. So.
Just nerded out.
Yeah, that
Also, their names are all
after.
their names are also after rocks, which is
cloudy quartz.
near and dear to my heart. Like, so Garnet is not after Steven Universe. It's just because it's my favorite rock, so that's why. But Pearl was from Steven Universe, so I just tried to grab a bunch of that and move that all together.
Yeah.
And Darunia is obviously a Goron, so yes. So yeah, they sit you down. You guys have, and you see that the kids were, were having, let's see. I guess the kids were probably having like PB&J, but like Mom breaks out the good stuff, and she makes fucking mac and cheese. Like a big old tray of mac and cheese, and she has crumbled up breadcrumbs that she puts on top of the mac and cheese, and she throws that in, like, and she's got it all warm, and the cheese is just like perfect, so it's got that like little bit of crunch, but not too much. And like the kids fucking lose their mind because Mom doesn't make mac and cheese for just anybody. So this is like a big deal. And now the kids are also hyper on...
Pieces. She better make some mac and cheese.
And the kids are also freaking hyper on maple candy because they just ate concentrated sugar. So they're
Everybody's happy.
Everybody's just having a good time, yeah.
Yeah, well, hell yeah. Send those kids to a good school, all right?
And he says, yeah, of course.
Aiden doesn't even know what to do now. She's full. And she says, ready. I'm ready. Think it out.
Yeah. Thank you for your kindness, citizen.
Yeah, the entire time I've basically had a notebook open and I've been like writing. And as we're leaving the door, I actually rip out the pages that are in there because I've decided as a character choice, Ozzy likes to sketch people, and he hands them sketches. Like when he was outside with his notebook, he was actually sketching the man in the door frame and sketched him and hands them like sketches of the kids, of them interacting with everybody, and just like hands them and says, "Thank you very much for your time and your hospitality."
The kids, they think it's so cool. They're so excited about it. And then, like, as you guys are walking out, you can hear, like, the girls, like, give it here, Diggory! And he, like, you can get from the window as you walk past that he, like, stole theirs, and he's, like, running around.
Oh, that rascal!
But yeah, they, and then we lose Davis.
We lost Davis.
Before we step out,
yeah.
Lilith wants to just turn to the parents and be like, just, if there's anything else that you can tell us before we go, it would be really helpful. We still have a long journey ahead. Anything to watch out for?
The father will follow you. He'll see you guys out.
Okay.
And he'll say, he'll ask you if there's anything specific that you're, like, that, you know, can you be a little bit more specific in what you're looking for, and he'll gladly, obviously, help you with anything that you need.
Turn to you guys and like, anything?
Do you know anything about Belliard? Like, how the system, if there's a if there's a form of government there, if like, how big is the town?
He will
tell us about it.
He will tell you he's traveled to Belliard before. He'll impart to you that it is a very pretty town. But this guy lives on a farm of rocks and sunflowers, so what's his what is pretty may be relative. Well, it's basically like a market gathering place for cattle farmers and cattle drivers. It basically is right at the intersection of the Stone Trail and the Desserin Road, so it's a good place for that kind of stuff because two major roadways connect there. He says there's a pond in the center of town, but that's mostly used for for horses and like a watering hole essentially for the pack animals. He says it's got basically everything you'd expect in that kind of town: a tannery, a smith, extensive stables, and a popular and several times expanded inn called the Watchful Knight, like Knigt. And it was originally named for a helmed horror that used to stand out front in the common room as like a statue. Like that was the whole thing. But years ago it disappeared. Nobody knows why.
Okay.
And the innkeeper went missing shortly after.
Oh, dope. Gotta love when innkeepers go missing. Totally means everything is chill and good and there's no creepy stuff happening.
Yeah, he probably just stole the helmet and decided to ditch town.
He said, but that was like the general history says, but more recently, more people have been traveling through, bodyguard types, mercenary types, looking for, to go on these kind of more people traveling the less traveled trade routes. And he says there's been a lot of big city folks settling here. So this is like Waterdavian nobles and people in the big city. We lose Davis again.
And I'm back.
And he's back.
I don't know why that keeps happening.
I don't know either, but that's fine. Just gotta put you in the right spot. But basically it's kind of been one of those places like, this is the country and it's so cute and let's get out of the big city. One of those type of places. So there's been more of that matriculation recently.
It's like Florida for New Yorkers.
Yes. You're right. It's absolutely.
It's like a retirement place.
Sort of, yeah. But because of that, there's been rumors that there's like buried treasure and that kind of stuff all around town because like all these rich people have been shown up. So there's been like people have heard like, oh, like the kind of old money that doesn't believe in banks and they pass away and people find like a sack of gold coins stuffed in the chimney, that kind of a thing.
Igny's intrigued.
But they said for the most part no one's ever really found any of this supposed buried treasure. It could also just be like a tourist trap. Like get people to the town because there's buried treasure in Belliard. Maybe you'll find it, like that whole like go to a diamond mine and you can dig in this dirt and maybe you'll find a diamond and if you find it you can keep it. With the intention of you probably won't find one. So
you gotta pay for your equipment though, and only we can rent it.
Exactly.
Right.
So
and
yeah.
Okay. And Igny asks one last question. She says, "What
one more thing. If we were to find the Dwarven keep, or where is there one around here, historically speaking?
This would probably be the best person to ask. I don't think asking a dwarf would give any good answers, because they might be like, no non-dwarves allowed.
Right.
No boys allowed in our clubhouse.
He tells you that he says he hasn't really heard of anything like that, but he says if there's anything dwarven, like he told you, the stone bridge is the big dwarven thing, maybe it'd be near there, but he hasn't heard of anything like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
And he'll say, no, thank you. And then he's like, come back anytime.
Can I give him a maple candy?
And he'll take it this time. And you'll see that he eats it.
I'm gonna give him a thumbs up and then back away and maintain eye contact.
Because that's not creepy.
Yeah. Then he's like, and he goes inside.
As we walk away, I'm like, well, I guess we learned something today. Vanan cannot speak for any of us.
Hey, he let us inside. I'm pretty sure that my whimsy convinced him of our
You know what, Vanan? I think you're right.
Thanks, Ozzy. I go for a high five.
I'll high five him.
Oh, Vanan's so happy.
Oh, bromance.
This is the best day of his life.
Actually, no. I high five him with my mage hand.
There you go. Magic high five.
Do you guys do the thumb hug?
Yeah, of course you.
Yes. And also thinks it's the coolest fucking shit. Just like,
That's all right.
My version of a mental five.
That's now, like I said. Well, here you go. Next time you go to give somebody a handshake, it's weird. Nobody does it, but like not like in a person you haven't met, like someone you know, or like you're hanging out. Like when you go to give the handshake, do this with like the pinkies. It's so much more comfortable. You got to do it. It's easier if you do it with somebody else. It won't work if you do it yourself because your hands don't go that way. But if you do this, cross the pinkies like this, it's so much more comfortable.
hey, shake my hand real quick.
And intimate.
Yeah. Davis is doing it right now.
You're
Finger
right.
crotches are
How
touching.
much more comfortable is that? Right? He's doing it right. He's trying it right now. Yeah, he
I'm
knows.
doing it right now. It's much more comfortable. You're right.
It's so weird, right?
I'm very satisfied.
Bucky's gonna be like, Drew, get out of here. Come here.
He's sleeping. He's got to be up at work in like 5 hours.
No shit. All right. Well, maybe tomorrow.
Maybe.
Tomorrow when I get to work.
You can get some finger crotch action.
Can we call that the caress of the weenuses?
Yes.
Weenus
Are those
caressing.
weenuses? I thought the elbow.
I thought it was
Like the skin was the weenus.
I thought it was any loose skin.
Oh really? You can
I
have
don't know.
multiple weenuses.
I think.
That's a quote if I ever heard one.
You're damn right it is.
Let's see.
Oh, no.
All right, so weenus. Although elbow definition of weenus may not be official, there have been 3 separate attempts to add this definition.
You could have multiple weenuses.
You can have
There's a vagina.
What is a vagina?
I love this stream so much.
Oh, I'm so glad I did not drink water in that one specific moment.
Sorry. I
What
guess,
is a
okay,
vagina?
alright. So, I guess it is just on the elbow. I'm looking at Urban Dictionary because there's no actual, it's not actually a dictionary word. So, it's the skin that covers the tip of your elbow. The weenus lacks sensitivity and can withstand all types of abuse. Okay. So, the skin on the inside of your elbow is called a vagina.
Oh, you mean the pit
Yeah.
area?
This is a weenus and this is a I like to say vagina.
Vagina. Okay.
Vagina.
Yeah, a vagina and a weenus. Well, you know what? That is non-gender specific. We all have a weenus.
Oh, Bucky's having a hard time.
What is
Bucky's having a hard time with his knowledge.
If this was in character, Ozzy would just be so lost in thought right now.
He would be making all the notes.
Have you guys ever been to Regina, Canada?
No.
There's a city in Canada named Regina, and the reason I know it. No, it's Regina. It's Regina. Here's how I know
It's
this.
spelt that, yes.
I used to be a flight attendant, and I was working a fucking flight from Chicago, Illinois to Regina, and on the intercom thing, I was like, "Thank you for boarding flight blah 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 with service to Regina blah blah blah," you know, like the whole spiel. And then in the middle of my speech, one guy in the back of the plane is like, "It's Regina!" I'm not fucking with you. That is a true story. It's Regina. With a forward service to Saskatoon.
Remember there was a game? Remember the game?
Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
No, you know, like I said, no, I love this. The stream is... I'm not going to call it my favorite, in case anybody else who plays in any of my other streams watches this, but this is definitely up there. And I'll be honest, it's not even that many times because of what happens in-game. Like, it's the bullshit that happens, like the half an hour conversation about coffee last time.
Oh, yeah.
And then this time, it was about weenuses and vaginas.
Vaginas.
The coffee conversation did go a bit long, didn't it?
It did. It's all in there. I didn't cut any of it. It's all in the...
We're having D&D coffee talk.
Yeah.
D&D coffee talk.
All right.
That homebrew.
That homebrew.
Homebrew.
So...
Should we go back to playing the game?
Maybe.
But we were just walking down the road talking about our weenuses.
Yeah, we were just leaving behind our new best friend.
We're all like, this spot.
There's a lot of clanking as Lilith tries to, like, do that kind of flexing in chainmail. Oh, it's chainmail. Never mind. She could do that.
Yeah,
She's got
tried to get to her weenus.
Yes.
I do want to exchange my chainmail for just straight up Gambison whenever we get to the...
Okay. So just, like, not rocking the armor.
Gambison's actually stronger than chainmail in many circumstances.
Right.
I learned.
I will agree with you, but let's talk 5th edition mechanics.
Okay.
Oh.
I
we do have party funds, so that can happen.
That is true.
Yes, true. I'm
So
gonna want to upgrade my armor, basically,
gotcha. 100%.
but not off of a rotting corpse.
That's legit.
Fair. Fair.
They're for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, so anyway.
I don't think you can bleach that stench out of it.
Even if you have prestidigitation, you can magic it out.
Oh, that's true. That's better than OxyClean.
Or have the mage hand scrub it for you.
That's true.
That's true.
You can do that.
Both?
As
Well,
you,
too late.
well, it's too late now.
If Ozzy didn't fear
too late
undead
now.
and dead things, then yeah.
Yeah, that would, you do think to yourself now as you're rationally thinking about it on a full stomach, that, like, potentially, if you did have that, that would potentially allow one to sneak into places where those people are, because it is full face helm and everything. But...
Oh, dang.
Too bad.
Oh, well, shit.
Because remember, it looks like...
To Belliard.
Yeah,
To
sorry.
Belliard, indeed. Because it's...
To Belliard. To
looks,
Belliard.
because it looks like this.
Let's all go to
Yeah,
Belliard.
Right. That
You guys
cut
could've-
piece, though.
That codpiece, indeed.
That's spiky.
Trip
Serious action.
spike codpiece.
Hot.
I can appreciate a good cod piece.
I mean, if
That's
it's doing its job,
Yeah.
it's to be protecting.
So,
Prickly pear.
that's fine. I love it. I'm not... The big part... Here's a DM tip for you on the internet. It's all about expectations. What do you, as the DM, and expect to get out of your players? Because, you know, I have an expectation for each of my streams. This stream is a little bit different than some of the other ones. And I wouldn't change it for anything.
This can be our dialogue. I mean, I'm so happy to roll dice for encounters while we're having
we will. You rolled literally one of, I think, the only non-combat encounter on the whole freaking table. Which was
like,
a homestead. Like, what?
You seem so disappointed. with
Well,
what
like,
it was,
there's-
I was like,
I know,
this
yeah.
has to be just totally benign.
You're just gonna find us on the trail eventually, just showing bug.
What?
You
What was
muted
the last
out
part of
there
that?
at the end
Oh,
of that.
I said you're just gonna find us on the trail showing a bunch of bugbears their weenuses. Pointing to them, being like, "This is," and they're just like.
And then they're just like, well, I that's heavy. I can't handle this. Goodbye. And they just walk away. No, there were things. It just, I don't know. I had fun with it. I tell you what, there's no more homesteads between here and Belliard, though, because that's the only one that's happening.
That's the only house.
That's the only house, because I ain't doing the like I did. I feel I did that was my best ever rando naming situation. I could only do that once.
Solid.
So Ozzy, roll me a d20, please, because I'm giving you, because you guys stopped to have lunch. Some time passed.
5.
Okay, so you guys continue on. You're almost out of the Sumber Hills at this point. Like, you can see about, like, off in the distance, about maybe a day's travel. You'll be basically out of the hills in, like, onto the road.
Oh.
So for the last day here, I'm gonna have Igni roll, and then I may just say, well, fuck it, something's gonna happen anyway. But I'm gonna have you roll, and we'll see what happens.
I have a 16.
See, that's not even high enough in this stupid
I'm
game.
so close.
I know. Well, I'm gonna see if there's
That's
anything.
pretty high. I feel like a 16 should be an encounter.
You're right. It is in almost every other pre-written game except for this one.
At this point, we're waiting for the encounter. So
I was about to say,
we're
is it
walking
because-
down the street or the road with our weapons drawn, and we're like, "Where you at?"
Is that because the encounters are so difficult? Like, I wonder why they did that.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Because you asked, let's see if you get one. So roll me a d12 and a d8.
Ooh, I get to roll a d12. It's my favorite.
I will tell you, the best thing I saw at PAX Unplugged was 12-sided d4s, where it's 1, 2, 3, 4 on it 3 times. You roll a d12 rather than a singular d4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can roll a d12 every time to roll a d4.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so I got a 9 and a 3.
9 and a 3 is 12. Okay. Alright. Let's see here. It's the daytime still. We got a thing. Whoa. That's interesting. This could be interesting. Let's see what this is like. I don't know. They have cool things. So, how difficult? These guys aren't that bad. Yeah. Yeah. Alright. We can do that. This would be a good way to end the stream, maybe. Let's see. That was 3. 3. Okay. So you guys are... Yeah, these guys are separate from the other guys, right? Feathergale people are separate. Yup. Cool. Alright, so you guys are walking along, and it makes, like, no sense, right? But that's cool. And you hear, like, whistling as the wind is blowing. Don't know why they'd come for you, but it's fine. So you're... When you guys are beset, and you turn around and look up, I'm not going to say you're surprised, because you are literally on edge for not seeing anything. You are, like, ready to murder this, and it's like, these people are evil. And they were just like a little old family on the frontier here. And you turn around and you see these let's see, these people in... Do they have any? They really have no descriptions. It's freaking so annoying.
People.
They are dressed with decadence, I guess, because that's one physical description I have. And basically they are wearing no armor, but you see these people just flying down at you and like a dive bomb, and what can literally only be described as those squirrel suits with like the wings, where they're just like, where they have like the connecting them, and they're just like,
they're like airbenders.
They are basically coming down in a dive bomb at you. and they like impact 3-point landing on the ground all around you. There are 4 of them. I'm gonna need you guys to roll for initiative. They attack for some reason, says this encounter.
Where?
That's whatever.
Okay.
I rolled a 10.
Rolled a 20.
Nice.
Dirty.
I got a 13.
13. Vanan.
I rolled at first a 19. So I have advantage.
Yep.
Hold on. And a 11, so 19.
19. Cool. And then roll. Ooh, a natural 20. And that's a balanced natural 20. I can't get any shit for that one. So, all right. So they are gonna go first. You also notice that none of them have. They wear no armor, and they have no weapons. So they all circle around you. There are 4 of them, and there are 4 of you. So 1 goes for each of you. And you see the one, they all sort of are in very martial stances, as if they fight unarmed. One of them goes like he's going to, and he goes like he's going to punch you, and a shockwave of thunderous energy comes out of his hand. And I will need all of you to make me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Awesome.
12.
11 plus
I
1.
rolled,
12.
12.
I rolled an 11.
11.
I got a 6.
Alright, so everybody but Ozzy passes. So you guys, Ozzy will take 9 points of thunder damage and is knocked back 10 feet and prone.
Oof.
And everybody else takes 5 points of thunder damage.
Okay.
So that's one guy's move. Then the other 3 guys, we'll say that's the guy closest to Ozzy. I'll be nice. Then the other 3 guys are gonna move into both. We'll start with Lilith, and he's gonna just punch out at you with his fists. That's a 13 and less. Vanan, that's not great. That is a 18.
To hit?
18 hits me.
He misses you, Lilith. Both of them. They
okay.
just plink plink right off your armor. So Vanan, you're gonna take 8 points of bludgeoning damage as he punches into your chest.
Okay.
Then Igni, that's a miss, and then a 16
Hits. You met it.
for 4 points.
Oh.
And then it is Igni's turn.
Okay, she does not like, so, I'm guessing they're within, if they're using hand to hand, they're within 5 feet of her.
Yes.
Okay.
Except the one guy that did the thunder wave.
The specialty things.
Yeah.
So she's going to take a handful of caltrops out of her bag and toss them at their feet.
Okay.
Since they're seem to have to get close, and then she's going to take a step. She's going to take a step backwards, put distance between her and them.
Okay. I will say you can do that. It's just using disengage, so you don't miss any opportunity attacks. So you're good. You do that.
Correct. Thank you. Okay.
Cool. Then it is Vanan's turn.
I will.
He's right up in your face right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna use my bow blade.
Gotcha. Cool. Very cool.
Nice.
But first, no, I can't do that.
Reminder: it is the same. No, it's a different day from the Onkegs, correct?
Yeah, it is.
It's a different day, yeah.
So you have all your hit points and all your spells and everything.
Yeah. If I try and cast Hunter's Mark, he gets an attack of opportunity.
No, he doesn't.
He doesn't? I thought he did.
No, he doesn't.
Oh. Okay, then I'll do that.
That's a 3/5 thing, so you're good. Casting spells doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity.
Okay, I thought it did.
Nope, you're good.
And then I will make an attack.
Go ahead and make an attack with your bow.
17.
Yeah, that'll hit. For sure.
And that's a D6 and another D6.
Yep.
7 damage.
7 damage.
1 and a 2. I rolled really bad.
That's rough. After Vanan is Ozzy. You are prone 10 feet back. Yeah, go ahead.
Cool.
Is something else, Vanan?
No, but it's getting a little ridiculous because we're fighting lots of humanoids, but is he a humanoid?
He is.
Then he takes an extra 2, so 9.
Got it, cool. So Ozzy.
So where are we? Are we in a ravine still?
You're like, it's more open, but yeah, it's still got sheer walls, you know, like, it's kind of like a ravine,
Is
but
there
it's not like a 10-foot path, it's more open.
Is there anywhere within that I can see that I can get like a vantage point up higher or something?
You could try and climb up the side of the ravine. You know how it goes going down. You haven't tried going up.
How tall is it?
It's a ways, but like it's kind of sloped a little bit at the bottom, so you feel like you might be able to get up maybe 10 feet, 15 feet.
Well, I can Misty Step 30 feet up.
Okay, so yeah, you could probably get yourself 30 feet up to like a slight like outcropping.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna get up, use half my movement, and then Misty Step over to like an outcropping where I can get like a vantage of the battlefield.
Sure.
And are there any of these guys that are in like a cluster together?
They are basically since they surrounded you. There are a couple that are next to each other. Depending on what you want to do, they may be near your allies, but they're all sort of like if you're doing something that you could probably get 2 of them, depending on what you want to do.
Okay, I wanted to use Ice Knife and potentially throw that at one of them.
Okay.
And then it would have a burst of anything within 5 feet. Would have to make a save.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you could do that. Sure.
Okay. Cool. And I'm going to use my Spell Secrets ability, which I have not used yet. And on the explosion, I'm going to have them have to make a intelligence check instead of a dexterity check.
For the explosion? Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think how I'm going to say that works is that when I throw the Ice Knife, I embed a little bit of illusion magic into it as well. And it causes it to be more of a trying to figure out what the real ice explosion is as opposed to what's not.
Okay, so first of all, roll your melee or your weighing spell attack.
Yeah.
Let's see if it hits.
That's a 23.
Oh yeah, that hits. So,
And I'm gonna just keep this ice.
Okay, so go ahead and roll the damage for that.
So that's a D10, I believe.
Yeah, just a straight D10 piercing.
Ice Knife. Get the spill up. 4 damage.
Okay, so you throw the Ice Knife at him, and you see he actually catches it in midair. Like,
oh shit.
But then it explodes. So,
yeah.
It doesn't take any damage from the Ice Knife as he catches it, but he can't throw it back because it blows up in his hand. So, go ahead and they gotta make intelligence saves?
Yes.
Got it.
DC is 14.
1 pass, 1 fail.
Cool.
And then it's whatever it is, 2d6.
That is 10 damage total.
10 damage total. Alright, so this one guy, he's going to take that, and the other guy's going to take... Cool. So, alright, we're good. Anything else on your turn?
No, that's movement, action, and bonus action, so I'm good.
Alright, next up is Lilith.
So when we battled those things, that was a day ago, right?
Correct, you have that back if you'd like to.
I am gonna do that sweet thing called Radiant Soul.
You guys are very... Lilith indeed does have the power as she points her sword to the sky and the beam, wings, eyes, awesomeness.
And I want to take flight again, but I want to fly towards the one that did the thunder clap thing to Ozzy.
Okay. You can pretty much, just due to the nature of the way I'm sort of setting this up, you can pretty much, he's within 5 feet of you, so you could get to him if you want to. They're all on the ground. They landed, so.
Oh, okay. But I want to show that I can fly too, so that's why.
If you were to fly up,
hovering.
How high up do you go?
Just like hover.
Like
I'm not
just
gonna...
not more than 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just elevated, but not enough to provoke an attack of opportunity.
Correct.
Okay, then it is their turn. Then it's going to be basically that other guy. Does he have any of those left? He does. He's gonna do Thunder Wave again. So I will need everybody but Ozzy to make me a con save, please.
Which is
Shit.
Ozzy took a lot of damage, and wizards can't take damage.
I got another.
I got a 6.
21.
Damn.
Vanan's got a 12.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Igny's gonna take 8. Lilith and Vanan are gonna take 4. And then the other guys are gonna do their punch. So 2 punches on Igny is a miss, and then a hit for a 23. He's gonna deal 8 points.
Igny drops.
Igny goes unconscious. Vanan, that's double misses. And then against Lilith, ooh, that's a crit. So that crit, I'm going to, because we're in the month of using our critical hit, critical miss cards. So we'll see what that does. That is a... Okay, that is a melee attack. Alright, so he's going to just deal no extra damage. Oh man, he rolled minimum. He's going to do 4 points of damage. But your next 2 attacks deal... you have a minus a d4 to your next 2 attacks. As he punches you in a very Ty-Lee fashion and causes a cramp in your arm. So it's hurting a little bit to do your attacks. But that is their turn. It is now Vanan's turn.
I'm going to attack the one in front of me
again. Yeah, this is one of the ones. The one that you attacked is also one of the ones that Ozzy hit with an ice knife. So.
Alright, so...
Same thing with the bow?
Yeah.
Cool.
So D20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I got a crit.
Yeah, alright. Let's see what... I'm going to pull a card for you to tell you what you do. Okay. So, that is... You shoot him right through the ear. Unfortunately, not through the head. So, are you're slashing, correct?
Yeah, because I'm in combat.
Alright, so you actually slash across his brow. So this is going to be like a regular crit, so roll 2d6. Actually, 2d6 for the regular damage, and 2d6 for the Hunter's Mark, so 4d6 damage.
And then
all the bonuses, yeah. Oh, and then Colossus Slayer. Oh, shit, yeah. Get it.
So that's, 1, so that's a 6, and a 5.
11.
And a 1, and a
12,
2.
13. Or 14, plus the d8.
Is another 5, so 19.
19, plus all your modifier shit.
23.
Plus the 2 for being a humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
So 25.
So 25 total.
You go, you originally were going to slice across his brow and cause blood to fall into his eyes, and he was going to be blinded, but instead you just cut the top of his head off.
Okay, cool.
You just scalped him?
Yeah, well, not intentionally, but... yeah, basically. He's gone. Would you like to move your Hunter's Mark as a bonus action?
Yeah, I want to move it to the one that doesn't thunderclap.
Gotcha. Cool.
The one that doesn't do the, tons of electrical damage to everybody.
Cool. Oh, Igny, I skipped you. I'm sorry. I need you to make me a death save.
Right. Also, I threw those caltrops out of the ground. I don't know if
I will take that into account in a second.
And she's
11.
unconscious.
She is.
11.
So you pass 1 pass.
Cool.
I will get you, girl. Don't you worry. I got you.
Alright, so one of the guys takes 3 points of piercing damage as he moved in to punch Vanan. So he took some caltrop damage. Actually, the guy who punched you, rather, Igny.
Oh, that's good.
Because he had to move in to get you.
From the grave.
Yes. So now it is Ozzy's turn.
Cool. Are they all within 30 feet of each other?
They are all within 30 feet of one another, yes.
Cool. I'm going to summon another flaming sphere, and I'll make this one a... Let's do something I haven't done yet. I'm going to make it a lightning sphere.
Cool. Very cool.
So it's like a lightning ball that just appears next to, and I'm going to run it all
Bing, 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 bing.
through all 3 of them.
Okay. So they all have to make
saves.
Dex saves. Cool. DC
14.
2 passes and a fail.
Cool. That's 2d6. 4 lightning damage.
4? Oof.
Yeah, to all of them, but
Hey, it's
happens.
Took away.
That's true. So these guys take 2. All right. It is Lilith's turn.
So I'm gonna go to the closest one, and I'm gonna smack the shit out of them.
Okay, they all have been damaged. One looks a little more worse for the wear.
Yeah, I want to take out the one that's less damaged.
Do it. Let's see it.
I want to do that, little jerk. So yes. So let's see. Oh, that went off the table.
Sure.
Oh, right on. Oh, I did.
Did you
critted?
I did.
Yes.
All right.
Do all that crit damage.
Would you like to smite, because the card is it is treated as a regular crit, so go ahead.
So wait, is Divine Smite a bonus action?
Nope, it's part of the attack. Paladins are great.
Let's
It's
do
like
it, because
when
I'm
you
gonna
hit.
take a bonus action as well. So yes, Divine Smite that shit. So I
So
roll what, 3?
6d8.
Do it.
Roll all the d8s.
A d8 for
So
your
that's-
sword, 2d8 for the smite, doubled 68.
Okay, so add 5 plus 1
6,
plus 4
10,
plus 4
14,
plus 6
20.
20,
plus 2
22,
plus 7
29.
9.
plus my plus 8.
So 37.
7 damage.
37. Basically...
Is that plus your 3 from your thing?
Wait a second. Plus 8 per damage, right?
It's
eight-
just 8. It's 8 overall, so you're good.
8
there.
overall.
Yeah, because
Okay,
it's
okay. I'm
it's
like, ugh.
That'd
it's
be ridiculous.
it's
I'm
what
getting
is it?
like bloodlust. I'm like, right? It's the same
The more.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it's
More
your
damage.
it's whatever it's your bonus from the magic. Oh shit! Oh, add a d4 to that
Oh, sick.
Oh, that's right.
because you crit.
Goes down a bit.
So 41.
So 41 plus 1.
Oh,
42.
yeah. So
Oh no. So okay.
so all right. So so it was. What did we say it was?
37.
37.
Plus
So it was because it was 37 because so it's all of the smite damage plus the 4 for your strength mod, right? Your strength modifier is a 4.
Oh, yeah.
So
my
that was
strength
part of
mod
the So strength mod is 4.
Is 3.
The
3.
3? Okay, so 3 plus 1 for your plus 1 weapon, so that's the 4. I'm just trying to make sure we got the 8 because I'm.
Yeah.
And then it's plus 2 for the dueling, so that is.
Right.
So it's not plus 8,
6.
it's plus 6.
Plus 3
6?
for her level.
What?
Plus
Oh,
three
plus
for her
3
level.
for your level. Right, so
That's
the
9.
overall damage bonus normally would be plus 6.
Okay, I did correct. Okay, then I wasn't sure if I had added the plus 2 into that, so I did.
Okay,
I
so
have plus 6
it
on
was 37, which would have been down by 2 to 35, which would have been plus 3 from the radiant damage from the level, and then the d4 roll was
A 1.
1.
around, so 39. So what you
39.
guys see for the first time as well is as she goes to crit this whatever it is, right, with this sword, as she brings it around with this precise strike, as it's about to strike, from the sort of winged like hilt of the sword, the blade, unlike what you saw before where it was just the actual strike was infused with divine light, radiant flames just engulf the blade of the sword as she swings it through and just like cleaves this guy, corduroys like a lightsaber just through this guy, and then momentarily after that the flames sort of just wink out.
I have a bonus action, and I would like to
Yep.
also use Turn the Tide.
Yep.
So I can bolster injured creatures within my channel divinity. Of my choice can hear you. Does that mean if she's unconscious?
it's your oh no, I'll allow it. Whatever.
Okay, so
she's not dead. She's unconscious. I mean, she's whatever.
So her ears still work.
Yeah. Sure.
They regain
1d6 plus your charisma mod, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So go ahead and do that. And 1d6.
You want me to roll it?
Yeah.
Okay.
1d6 plus your charisma mod.
That's going to be 5.
So basically, everybody gets 5 hit points back.
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Igni is awake.
Not the bad guys, though.
Not the bad guys.
No.
So, you good? Is that a good turn?
Oh yeah.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
I think that's a good one.
I'm continuing to hover, and I'm like hulking out.
Yeah.
Breathing heavy.
All right, then it's their turn. So they're a little like, oh, well, shit. So, all right, they are both going to, in like a very simultaneous fashion, just both of these guys are going to thunder wave you. So I need everybody but Ozzy again to make me 2 Constitution saving throws.
Damn it!
I'm actually going to use absorb elements.
Yeah,
right
dude, get it.
And I'm just going to absorb it.
So it's going to give you a resistance to the damage. So still,
this is bad, you guys.
So still make your save.
Yeah.
Saves.
So I made a 12.
19.
Sorry, Brittany, you had 12 and
a natural 20. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's all good. So you take half from both, and Vanan got
19
and 12. 2 saves. There's 2 thunder waves.
Oh, there's 2 thunder waves.
Yeah.
17.
Cool, you're good. And then Igni.
Igni got a 4 and a 15.
All right, so 1 pass, 1 fail. All right, so let me do the damage first here. So that.
Oh, it's hurting me.
All right.
Damn it.
So let's see, because this is different for everybody now, because this couldn't be easy, right? So, so Lilith is going to take 7 points.
Oh shit! Oh no!
From the 2 thunder waves.
Total, right?
Total for both. Vanan is going to take that reduced to that. Vanan's going to take 3 points because he made both saves and then gave himself resistance with his absorb elements. Igni is going to take 9 points.
Igni's
back unconscious.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, she's back unconscious.
Oh no! All right, and then
she woke up long enough to see the angel.
And then it is your turn. So make,
then it is gone.
Make me a death
she
save.
She truly thinks that she's dead now.
She's dying.
So go ahead and make me
woke up to see an angel.
Make me a death save there, Igni.
Another 11.
All right, another pass. So your other one was cleared, so you're on 1 pass now.
Okay, cool. Again.
And now it is Vanan's turn. And Vanan, your attack this turn will deal an extra D8 thunder damage. Is that what absorb elements is? Or is it D6? So yeah, we'll do 1 extra D6 thunder damage. And these guys have all been damaged.
So I'm gonna shoot, I guess, the one farthest away.
Okay, there is one who is more damaged and one who is less damaged.
I'm gonna go ahead and shoot the one who's less damaged.
Okay, so go ahead and make your shot.
13 plus 4 is 17.
17 will hit, so go ahead and roll.
Plus 8, sorry.
Okay, so.
It's still the same.
Yeah, so that's fine. So you hit, so go ahead and roll your D6 thunder damage, your D6 Hunter's Mark damage, your D8 bow damage, and your D8 Colossus Slayer damage.
Yes. So I got first roll 1d6 is 6, and then a 1, so 7 for the 2d6s, and then 4, and then 7. So 7 and 7, 14, or 18, and 4, 22.
22, yeah, alright. That was with the 2 for humanoid?
Plus 2 for humanoid. So
26.
24?
20... Yeah. Alright, yes, you're at 24. So... Well, that didn't do anything. He tries and deflect it, and he does to a very minimal degree. Like to a 4 points degree. And
he like tries to deflect it, and it just like goes straight into.
Yeah, it goes right through. He's like through his arm, and he's like, "Oh shit." And then it is Ozzy's turn.
Cool. So they're both looking like they've been hurt, right?
They have been hurt, yeah. You still have your flame or your lightning sphere. Yes.
So yeah, first thing I'm gonna do is as a bonus action, run.
Bang it through them. So they gotta make dex saves?
Dex saves, yeah.
Ooh. And the DC is 16?
14.
14, cool. So go ahead and roll your damage.
5 total.
Damn, dude.
I know, I'm getting bad rolls.
Alright, yeah, they are both still up.
Okay, and then with my other hand, I'm going to continue with lightning, and I'm going to cast magic missile and use lightning on it.
Very cool.
Yes!
Which
magic missile's just the best.
What level?
Because
you can't. Still...
I can only cast it as a first because I used both my.
Oh, Misty Step and sure.
Yeah. So. That's 4. I'm gonna do it to the one that looks the least damaged.
The least damage? Sure.
Yeah. 4, 8, and nice 5. 13 damage.
Cool. The lightning bolts, the lightning missiles just into his chest, and he is not looking very good, but he is still standing up as he is currently. So, with that, it brings us to Lilith.
Oh lordy, I'm hurting.
Yeah,
hurting real bad. I am pissed off as well, and so I'm gonna do the paladin thing, and I'm going to champion challenge them.
Okay, so they have to focus on you.
Yes, and they have to make a wisdom saving throw against, I think, my spell.
Yeah, your spell save.
So, which is 13.
Ooh, that's a double pass.
Ah, damn.
That's a bonus action, though.
Yeah, so I want to also smack him with my sword.
Okay.
I'm going to go in for another. So I'm going to attack whoever's closest to me.
Ooh, you know what? You would not have been able to champion challenge anyway, because that is your channel divinity, and you only have one. You used it to heal.
That's right.
Doesn't matter. It didn't happen anyway. But
Oh.
You get one channel divinity, and you have 2 options.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
That's fine.
I just wrote it down in features and traits.
It didn't matter. It didn't do anything anyway, so we're all good.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead and swing away. Remember, this one is at a minus D4 because the last one was a crit. It didn't matter.
Okay, so I'll let me do that real quick. So that's to hit. Oh boy, that's 26 minus 2, so 24 to hit.
Yeah, totally hits.
So let me get my D8. Let me get my D8. And...
As you swing, you feel the cramp just disappear.
Yeah. So that's going to be 14 damage.
Okay. Yeah, this guy just stab him in the chest. He's gone.
Tight.
Then it is his turn.
A bonus action since it didn't work.
You're right. If you have anything to do as a bonus action, you still have one. I don't know if you do though. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
You used pretty much most of your spell slots already for 2, or no, 1 smite, so you still have 2.
Yeah, I've only used. I still have 2 spell slots.
Oh
left.
yeah, so you're good.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm good.
All right. Then it's its turn, and he sees the situation not going the best, but also knows that he cannot get away. So he's gonna punch Igni.
Igni's down.
What an asshole!
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Wait, you're down? You're unconscious?
He's unconscious.
And he's punching me.
So he's gonna.
Can I use a reaction to fucking hit him?
No,
Dude.
sorry. He is. He's gonna hit.
Okay.
So you're gonna take automatic 2 failed death saves.
Oh, great.
Ah.
Just great.
Oh my god.
Okay, 5. I critted.
On your
On my second death save.
Well, you know what? I will.
Auto-fail.
It's auto-fail, but I will let you keep that roll for this turn.
Oh.
Because that's fine. You automatically, it's 2 fails automatically for a hit. So, but I'll let you keep that roll because you rolled a 20. I'll be nice this time. So it's the start of your turn. You rolled, out of curiosity, well, let's just see. Out of curiosity, just roll me a death save. Just to see. Out of curiosity. I'm going to say I'd let you keep that 20, but let's see what you would have rolled.
That was a nat 20.
Okay, then that's it. That's it right there. That means you automatically regain 1 hit point. You are awake now. Your death save's clear.
You awake.
I would like to wake and give him the
You have your full action.
middle finger.
You have your
Okay, so she's gonna okay, actually she's gonna hold on the middle finger afterwards over his dead body.
That's a free action, the middle finger.
She free action gives him the middle finger and reaches to her side and remembers that she has this cup, this wooden cup.
Yeah.
And pours liquid in it and decides to drink from it.
Drink.
I want to know I'm parched. I've been punched.
I will let that be a bonus action to drink from this cup that you found as a trinket.
Does the cup do anything, or is it just a wooden cup?
I mean, how do I want to handle this? Yeah, alright.
I was about to say I'm terrified now.
Well, I mean, I did tell you that it belonged in a museum, but that you chose wisely.
Yeah, those were the words.
You regain 8 hit points.
Yeah! Oh, yes!
Girl.
Okay.
That's an interesting cup.
Okay, great. Now, yeah.
You still have your action, and he's over top of you.
Great, perfect.
And he basically, he straddled you and just punched you in the face, but it woke you up, and he's like, oh, fuck.
I'd like to put a knife right in his crotch. Just silent knife to the crotch.
Sure.
Can I do that?
Go ahead, yeah, let's see it.
Like not, right?
Yeah, he deserves it.
To the crotch.
Who punches somebody who's unconscious?
Oh, probably not. A 12? Is it 12?
He's not wearing armor.
He's not, but he's a monk, so...
Oh, he probably has
got that
natural
dex.
armor. Yeah, he's got all those
damn.
dex bonuses.
Unarmored. So much for dex
I mean,
life.
he's straddling you.
I mean, there's a
Yeah,
lot
I will give you advantage on that. because silent dick stab, no one expects the silent dick stab.
He's so distracted by my middle finger.
And the fact that you just woke up.
The
from
fact that
being
he punched an
unconscious-
unconscious person awake.
Yeah,
That's like
fucking
terrifying.
crazy.
Like, we flew down from the sky and like kicked the shit out of you, knocked you unconscious like 4 times, and then like
Right.
he's straddling your seemingly soon to be dead body, and he punches you in the face and it wakes you up.
You guys, Happy Gilmore, Bob Barker looks like he's dead, and he opens his eyes and comes up and throttles Adam Sandler. That's what happened.
Sure.
That does happen. Just like that.
That's
Just
exactly
like
what
that.
happens right now.
So
Which-
I rolled 8 points of dick damage.
Well, I
Nice.
gave you. Did you hit? Because I said I gave you advantage.
Oh,
Not,
That's true.
Not that it was an
not
automatic hit.
that it was an automatic. So the next one would have been a 17.
That's
with the
enough.
advantage.
So that's fine.
Okay,
We'll keep the damage. Is fine. So he's like, the guy is standing over top of you, and like he's watched you get up, get knocked down again, get up, and then get knocked down a second time, and he stands over top of you, seeing that his allies have just died all around him, and he's like, I can't get out of here. Might as well take one with me. And he just punches this fist, and as it's punching down, there's like air swirling around his fist as he clocks you in the face. It wakes you up, and he's shocked, and you like wake up, give him the dual bird, and he's like, what? And then all of a sudden, with no sound, again, mind you, just right in his dick, comes this silent dagger, which I gave you advantage, so that has sneak attack on it as well.
Oh, shit.
Because no one expects the
Get that
dick...
extra D6.
Give it,
No
yes,
one
another 10 points, 18 dick damage.
18 dick yeah. As you do the silent dick stab, as we are
Roll
coining
that
it.
dick damage, and you did.
God.
You basically, in what can only be described as a silent dick-slashing shoryuken, stand up as part of it, and this guy is just castrated and dead. He died with the 8 points, but the 10 just makes it better. And he's dead.
I got his dick and his balls just completely.
Just both.
Just obliterated.
The amount of hashtags that have been generated by this episode is too damn high.
Too too many.
Hashtag Pickle Crew. Hashtag.
We got prickly pear today.
Prickly pear.
Yeah.
Hashtag dick damage.
Hashtag dick damage. I feel like there was a bunch last. Hashtag what if. Hashtag better use the damn pit. Hashtag John. Hashtag.
John. Just great movements all over the place.
That was actually relatively close.
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to do this to you guys because you're new, but I like to tout myself as the master of getting it as close as possible, but still letting the players win. But that way, like, this is a harrowing experience, right? Like, got hairy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we should take a short rest.
Now you guys can
loot these bodies.
You guys can take
dope ass glove and then get the fuck out.
Yeah, you guys can take
loot these bodies.
You can do that.
It is also 12:49.
Yeah, we're gonna stop.
Yeah.
Truth.
For sure. Sorry, it ran a little bit long. I didn't anticipate that people would fly in from the sky. So I will tell you guys. You guys are able to take a long rest. We'll say. You loot the bodies, they don't have anything on them. However,
God damn it.
However, because they're monks, right? They don't carry anything.
Right.
Figures we get a host right at the end here for 24 people. Because you have the time, and Ozzy is able to cast detect magic. The kind of suits, the squirrel suits that the 4 of them are wearing, are magical in nature.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Did we hack them up too badly?
No, you did not, because they're magical.
Can I, as a ritual, identify one of them?
You absolutely can. This is called wingwear. So these uniforms have air symbols stitched into the flaps that connect them, the squirrel flaps. They have 3 charges. 2 of them on all of them have been used. But while you wear the suit, you can use a bonus action and expend a charge to gain a fly speed of 30 feet until you land. But at the end of your turn, your altitude drops by 5 feet. And your altitude drops instantly to 0 at the end of your turn if you didn't fly at least 30 feet horizontally, because it is for, like, gliding.
Oh, okay. So it's not really flying. We're falling.
When your altitude drops to 0 feet, you land or fall, and you must expend another use to use the suit again. As far as how to recharge it, though, it is not a long rest or a dawn recharge. It is something special that you do not know yet.
And we have 4 of these now.
You
right?
have enough that you could outfit, even with Lilith's armor, you could outfit all of yourselves with these if you so chose.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
Not my style, but okay.
I mean,
Not
it's
my style either, but
I mean, if you want to think about it as, I'm gonna say, like, more or less, you can apply these so they're more or less like Spider-Man, like they're like the wings, so they're not like visible if you don't use them, so like people wouldn't know that you have them. So if someone like pitched you off of a building, they'd get a real fucking shock when you're like, whoosh, and just fucking glide away.
Very cool.
So yeah, you guys have those. So that was cool. That's fun. And
that's cool.
You guys have all your hit points and experience back, and hit points and everything. I will give you experience real quick, and then we'll call it.
Okay, cool.
Sound good?
Cool.
Sounds great.
Sorry it ran long, but I mean, I feel like this party is even more in tune with one another now. Got a little scary there. 2 people at 1 HP. Celeste was losing it in the chat, it seemed like. But,
yeah, was it all of us but Ozzy? Or what? All of us but Vanan? I know me and Chelsea were at 1 HP.
I was at 10.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was at
Oh, sorry, 19. I was at 19.
I was at 12.
Oh my gosh!
How did that happen?
You guys got hit by a bunch.
I was at 12 and I got hit once.
Everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Right.
He
I
only
got
hit
hit
me
a
with
couple
one
of
attack,
times.
and
Yeah.
then the other one I absorbed.
You guys all.
I don't have very high HP though.
Yeah. Well, that'll happen.
Did you roll a 1 on your HP roll?
I think I did.
You guys didn't have to roll. You could have taken the half if you want.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I just took the.
We can talk after if Brittany wants to change it. I'm fine with that. You guys each gain 675 experience.
Nice.
Yes. 675.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if that puts you to 4. Probably not.
No, it doesn't.
You guys
Wait. What was our XP last time? I don't think I
200.
added it.
200 last time.
So we should all be at 11, and then we all just
Okay,
roll
so
1775.
1775 across the board. Yeah. So, thank you, guys. Why don't we, as we're wrapping up here, just go around the horn. I'm gonna start the way it looks on my appear in, which is Bucky on top. So, Bucky, tell us who you are and all that stuff, and then you guys can go to bed or whatever.
I am Bucky. You can find me on Twitter at Bucky_Master, and I normally pen Taking Initiative podcast. You can find that also on Twitter at TI_pod, and you can also find it at our website, thespark.network.
Cool. And then next up is Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany. I play on Venture Maidens podcast. You can find me on Twitter or Instagram. I lucked out and got the name for both at Visual Warlock. That's visual with a Z. We're on Don't Split the Podcast Network, and you can find us at theventuremaidens.com.
All right. Next up is Vanan, or Davis, I guess.
Hello, I am. Hello.
Hello.
My connection's weird. Can you
That's
hear me?
fine. We can hear you fine.
Okay. So I'm just gonna show it a sec. I'm Vanan.
Davis.
The show that I am on, Dank Dungeons, on YouTube and Twitter at #Dank Dungeons, and we do fun tabletop games, and we play D&D. And last year we played Dungeon World, but this year we're playing D&D, and it's a lot of fun. And we just finished shooting for season, so season 2 should be all the way uploaded on YouTube pretty soon. We're pretty excited.
Very cool. And then last but not least, Chelsea.
Yeah. You can find me social medias at little_red_dot. I also have my own Twitch channel where I do creative streaming. I'm trying to do it more frequently, and I've got some cosplay builds getting ready to kick in from MomoCon, so you can start checking me out there. And when I'm not here, every Thursday I'm over on Encounter Roleplay's channel playing in their viewer game, which is always crazy shenanigans, and you can check me out regularly with the 5e podcast North by Northquest.
Yeah, and there's been links in the chat for everybody that's here live on Twitch. There's also links in the description for any of you guys that are watching on YouTube. So I'd like to thank everybody for playing, everybody who came out into the chat. As a reminder, there's a giveaway going on currently for the channel here in Nerd Immersion. And then also Sunday, we were able to pull together our folks to play another episode of Curse of Strahd. So there'll be like a 5 to 6 hour episode. Fortunately, Pat's working, but we got Celine instead. So 2 girls and 2 guys as players. So we'll switch it up a little bit, which means we get to introduce a new character who's unfortunately made their way to Barovia. So
Shame.
yeah, I know, right? So,
Life.
Anyway, guys, thank you all for coming out and watching, and we'll see you next time. In
Yeah.
2 weeks.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.
You know that. Bye.